24%. Chapter 141 Auto-generated chapter title. The 141st chapter is Evil. Of the 8 materials left by Lin Haoyang, a total of 7 were trained by him, and the other one was considered a waste of training. However, there are 7 finished products, which makes Lin Haoyang satisfied. Now he does not lack magical item in his own hands. He has trained as an 8 trigrams copper plate before. He already has both offensive and defensive capabilities. Even hidden weapons also has 2 flying needles. Therefore, Lin Haoyang himself did not intend to keep the magical item refined this time. After Bai Qingyan was promoted to the late stage of the foundation building, he still had time to replace the magical item in the future. This time, the second girl was fully equipped. Lin Haoyang left the earth fire room and returned to Zufeng Mountain. At this moment, Bai Qingyan was refining a furnace of medicine pill, while Lin Xuanlin was taking care of Lingzi. Since she became a third-order spiritual planter, Lin Xuanlin has expanded the sacred field on Zufeng Mountain to 50 acres, of which 20 acres have been planted by Bai Qingyan with various treasures, and another 20 acres have been planted by Lin Xuanlin. A third-order low-grade spiritual rice Lizu rice. It is very difficult to plant third-order spiritual rice and it takes 2 years to mature, but Lin Xuanlin is now a third-tier spiritual planter, and there is no problem taking care of these spiritual rice. The third-order spiritual rice is scarce. In the Qingyan sect, it only grows 1 or 200 acres, and the general foundation building cultivator simply can't afford it. After Lin Xuanlin planted these 20 Lizu rice, the rations of the 2 were basically satisfied. Also because of the excellent taste of Lizu rice, some people came to Zufeng Mountain for a long time to eat rice, and Bai Qingyan's pill refining technique has broken through the third-order top grade, this Zufeng Mountain has become lively again. However, when Lin Haoyang left the pass today, Lin Xuanlin chose to close the gate. Not seeing guests, everyone knew that it must be Lin Haoyang who came to look for Bai Qingyan. Bai Qingyan pill refining. Lin Haoyang is not easy to bother, and will hand over the dagger to Lin Xuanlin. These 2 daggers are made from the 2 fangs of the blue-eyed viper. They are the third-order top grade in themselves. They are extremely powerful. In addition, the blue-eyed viper is highly poisonous. These 2 daggers is also highly venomous with the blue-eyed viper. If it is sacrificed in the battle, as long as it breaks through the opponent's defense and allows it to see blood, it will be infected with the poison of the blue-eyed viper. This poison is extremely threatening, and if it is not dealt with as soon as possible, the risk of death is extremely high. It's a pity that among the 8 materials, there is no material suitable for refining the Tier 3 high-grade defense magical item. I can only refine a Tier 3 middle-grade shield for Lin Xuanlin. Lin Xuanlin's current cultivation base is also sufficient for the time being. 10 days later, Bai Qingyan left the customs. What she refined this time was a Tier 3 top-grade Poria pill. The main ingredient of this pill was the snake gall of Tier 3 top-grade snake demonic beasts. After the return of Bilawashan, Lin Haoyang gave her the gall of the blue-eyed viper. After several months of raising her, she finally made up a pot of materials needed for medicine pill, and then the furnace was opened to refine it. For Tukaho Dan, the material used is the snake gall of the third-order top-grade snake demonic beasts, and the effect is naturally not bad. Each Poria pill can grow the cultivation base for the cultivator for 5 years, but only the first one is effective. Taking it later will basically have no effect. Even so, if the news goes out, I am afraid there will still be many cultivators to ask for it. Bai Qingyan trained a total of 4 fulling pills this time. He prepared one for Lin Haoyang and Lin Xuanlin herself, and the other one was sent to Bai Zonkang. The Bai Zonkang cultivation base is already on the 9th floor of the foundation building, and it's always there. Consolidate the cultivation base. With this Poria pill, you can reach the foundation building Zochin in 1 step, and then wait until a new purple cloud crystal is mined. In this regard, Lin Haoyang did not refuse. The hidden dangers of his body have been eliminated, and he can take this kind of medicine pill. And what Lin Haoyang prepared for Bai Qingyan was an imperial god banner, which was made of the skin of that third-order high-grade giant Argali. It looks like a defensive magical item, but it is not. It is an offensive magical item. When the emperor flag is sacrificed, the emperor flag will give out a golden light. This golden light is very ordinary. It doesn't hurt the cultivator's body, but it hits the soul. Therefore, this imperial banner is a magical item of spirit attack, and its value is still higher than that of Lin Xuanlin's pair of daggers. This is actually not Lin Haoyang eccentric. The giant horned Argali's leather armor. Lin Haoyang originally wanted to refine an armor shield, but he suddenly wanted to refine a magical item of spirit attack type. The magical item is the most difficult to refine, and often requires some special spiritual materials. Suddenly, Lin Haoyang thought of engraving the spiritual pattern of the soul-fixing technique into it, whether he could practice it. Thinking of this, Lin Haoyang wanted to give it a try. It was the first time for Lin Haoyang to attack magical item with a spirit class. He first tried a third-tier middle-grade animal skin. Although it failed in the end, it proved that it was feasible. In the end, Lin Haoyang carefully used the leather armor of the giant Argali to become the face flag. Bai Qingyan is very happy holding the emperor flag in her hand. She has been refining medicine pill in the Azure Cloud sect all the year round. In terms of fighting skills, she is no better than Lin Xuanlin. With this emperor flag, it can be said that her strength has undergone earth-shaking changes. With the Fuling Dan trained by Bai Qingyan, Lin Haoyang stayed in Qingyan sect for another 2 months, thoroughly refining the Fuling Dan. The 5-year magic power added in Fuling Dan is only for the ordinary foundation building cultivator, otherwise, for Lin Haoyang, who bears the singular cultivation technique of the Buddha's profound technique, it can also increase his power for 5 years, then some heaven-defying. 5 years is definitely enough for Lin Haoyang to hit the 7th floor of the foundation building. Although it is only 5 years in the symbolic sense, it also allows Lin Haoyang to successfully enter the late stage of the 6th floor of the foundation building, not far from the 7th floor of the breakthrough foundation building. NS. After successfully completing the breakthrough, Lin Haoyang originally wanted to take Bai Qingyan to find Bai Zonkang to discuss the ceremony of marriage between the two. But a sudden incident completely disrupted Lin Haoyang's plan. The 4th stage of Qingyunzong's frontier desolation had a demon hazard according to Huoling Yuling, but just in time to catch up with Lin Shufeng and lead the men and horses to transport the Ling rice, it happened to run into the demon hazard. The Lin family cultivator, none of them were spared, and the blood essence was sucked up. Not only the Lin family, but Hoa Yuling suffered even more serious losses. Due to the golden core Wang Xiaoyang who had guarded Hoa Yuling before, he was delayed due to the spirit stone's mine and was unable to return to guard immediately. The evils broke out completely. According to the news from the Hoa Yuling cultivator, there were more than a dozen demon cultivators suddenly violent at that time. Among them, there are several foundation building late stage. Suddenly, it destroyed the formation and beheaded 7 foundation building cultivators, hundreds of cultivators, and thousands of mortal casualties. When the Blue Cloud sect cultivator in Hoa Yuling took a firm foothold, the group of demon cultivators suddenly retreated and disappeared without a trace. However, the cultivator and the mortal who were killed were all sucked up with blood essence all over, and their deaths were extremely miserable. However, Lin Shuyun and others were unlucky for the Lin family to leave the team. As soon as they were about to reach Hoa Yuling, they ran into the demon cultivator who had escaped from Hoa Yuling. Lin Shuyun was just golden core. Although he had experience and lack of strength, although he escaped in the first time, he still failed to escape the pursuit of demon cultivator and was quickly sucked up blood essence. As soon as the news broke out, the Azure Cloud sect shook up and down, and even Zuo Qianji, who had been guarding the purple cloud crystal vein, couldn't sit still, and went to Hoa Yuling to check in person. Lin Haoyang learned of this miserable situation, so he rushed to Hoa Yuling with the 2 daughters, ignoring the marriage ceremony. Lin Haoyang, who was bitter and bitter, remembered what happened in Tianhefeng City that year. The evil was really vicious. 24%. Chapter 142, Deduction. Hoa Yuling was not too far from the gate of Qingyunzong Mountain. At the speed of Lin Haoyang and others, it took 8 days to reach Hoa Yuling. When Lin Haoyang and the 3 arrived, the Azure Cloud sect's golden core, except for a few who stayed behind in the gate, had all arrived here at this moment. Zuo Qianji even came to the scene in person. Although Zuo Qianji studied under the Qingyan school, he had some chances when he was young and was taught by the Yiwa god cultivator. He was quite proficient in the deduction of hexagrams. As soon as he arrived at Hoa Yuling, Zuo Qianji was furious when he saw this tragic situation, and immediately deduced his divination on the top of Hoa Yuling. Deduction is like a fight with the heavens. It will be unknowable and knowable, and it will be extremely detrimental to the person who deduces himself. When Lin Haoyang and the 3 rushed to Hoa Yuling, Zuo Qianji had already deduced it for 3 days and had not given any instructions. Lin Haoyang was the first to arrive because of the closest distance. Lin Shuyun and other bones were waiting to be collected by Lin Haoyang. Not long ago, Lu Shukun was sent away, and now he was carrying the frigid corpses of the Lin family's dozens of people. For a while, Lin Haoyang was very angry. In Lin Haoyang's heart, he wanted to eliminate demons and defend the Tao. The greatest enemy in the monastic world is not demonic beasts, but demon cultivator. Over the past 10,000 years, many demon cultivator disturbances have occurred. The Sword League has also sent people to encircle and suppress it many times, but demon cultivator is like a weed, it will break out once the spring breeze passes, and the cultivator's life will be reaped. Even the natural danger in the southern part of the Terran area, the rift in the heart of the earth, was also occupied by the demon cultivator, creating a realm of heart's demon. The environment in that rift valley is bad, the spiritual chi is thin, and I have to worry about the earth fire wind blowing from the ground. The wind comes from the center of the earth. Even if the nascent soul cultivator is blown, it will only be torn into fly ash. Only the cultivator can enter it. Demon cultivator was crazy, using the lives of countless people to explore a safe area. Since then, with the earth fire wind, it has occupied an area in the inner rift valley, and the land is king. Demon cultivator is not weak, and there is also a cultivator of awakening. There are not enough manpower, and it is not an opponent of demon cultivator. In desperation, a sword pavilion's awa can guard in the inner rift to prevent demon cultivator escaped from the rift valley in large numbers. As for the demon cultivator in Tianhefang City in Haoyuling, Lin Haoyang didn't know if the demon cultivator came from Heart's demon, but Lin Haoyang was sure that the two demon cultivator massacres were definitely the work of the demon cultivator. Their usual tactics are to hide first, sneak into the cultivator, wait for the time to mature, and then launch a massacre. Haoyuling does not have the golden core cultivator to sit in. The sneak attack of demon cultivator makes it very difficult for them to resist. This will make the defeat so powerful. Today's Haoyuling, the bloody atmosphere has not subsided, and there are broken palace buildings and white sails everywhere. Because Zuo Qianji deduced the devil Dao cultivator and needed the breath left on the corpse, the dead cultivator has not yet been buried. Thousands of dried corpses are placed together, really like the underworld magic cave. The day after Lin Haoyang arrived at Haoyuling, Zuo Qianji opened his eyes again. Although he was tired, his eyes were more angry. Zuo Qianji waved his hand, and everyone saw the phenomenon of a map of the Wu Kingdom, including Qingyunzong, Qianwo Pavilion, and Tai Gate. Upon closer inspection, Lin's White Elephant Mountain could also be found. The demon cultivator is rampant. I counted 3 days and 3 nights. I had a chance to steal. The demon cultivator that attacked Haoyuling has withdrawn from the Qingyunzong territory and went to the Emperor Zhengzong. I'm afraid, Wangjizong is their lair, but what I didn't expect is that this group of demon cultivator still has 7 demon lairs in my country of Wu. If it weren't for this time they left their breath in Haoyuling. I really can't count. In my Azure Cloud sect, there are still 2 magic caves, wait for you to go to the extreme speed, don't keep one. Quote. After speaking, 2 red dots suddenly lit up on the map. Seeing this red dot, Lin Haoyang immediately shrank his pupils. Because there are some red spots, very close to Baihei Peak, at the speed of the foundation building cultivator, 2 or 3 people can get there. In this way, Lin Haoyang didn't expect that there is such a malignant tumor hidden behind the Lin family. I don't know how many demon cultivators are hidden in it. If he is allowed to do whatever he wants, I am afraid that the Baihefeng people are also in danger. Regarding the 2 demon cultivator, Zuo Qianji didn't intend to take action personally. Instead, he took out 3 leaves, burned some words, and then vacated, obviously having a bigger plan. At this time, Lin Xuanlin said. Just now, the head teacher took out the mother-child sound transmission leaves, the letter sound transmission tree. According to the ability of sound transmission communication, the head tree has the 6th order and the subtree 5th order. The child tree has 3 or 9 leaves. The tree has 9 to 9 leaves. As long as you hold the leaves to send the letter, you can immediately send it to the designated letter tree. Just now, head teacher took out 3 leaves. I am afraid that they will actually contact Qianwoj, Taiyamen, and Wangjizong, and work together to eliminate demons. Quote. It was the first time Lin Haoyang heard of such a treasure, but he had no time to think about it. He had to visit the demon cultivator cave that Zuo Qianji had given him. Soon, Zhou Zunyuan sent a mission to the demon cave near Baihei Peak, led by Hu Weiwei and Wang Xiaoyang, and 20 foundation building cultivators went to strangulate Lin Haoyang, and the 3 were among them. Due to the tight time, Lin Qianlong and others have not yet reached Haoyuling, but they should meet them on the way back. Everyone didn't hesitate much, and the matter couldn't be delayed. Soon everyone went straight to the magic cave. On the way, Lin Haoyang and others met Lin Ganlong and others who came over. At once, they added 4 more foundation buildings and a golden core cultivator, their strength soared, and they once again went to the magic cave. On the way, Lin Haoyang handed the corpses of Lin Shuyun and others to Lin Qianlong. This matter still needs his patriarch to deal with. As a result, the ashes of a dozen people including Lin Shuyun, although he did not see the tragic situation of a few people being sucked up blood essence, the ashes of so many descendants still made Lin Qianlong's heart distressed and hatred in his heart. It took more than 20 days for everyone to finally reach Baihei Peak. Lin Haoyang and others stopped at Baihei Peak first, and did not directly kill them. As a result, such a large group of people directly rushed to the past, and it was easy to stun the snake. Demon Cultivator is a cunning person. If you let it escape, you will lose more than the gain. Secondly, although Zuo Qianji deduced the location of the Devil's Cave, it was only an approximate location, not far north of Baihei Peak, but they had to further determine the specific location. In Baihei Peak, Hu Weiwei asked Lin Qianlong, "Lin, fellow Taoist, here you have experienced in the Lin family for a few years, haven't you noticed anything unusual?" Lin Qianlong frowned, and Hu Weiwei's words like this meant to torture him, which made him feel a little unhappy in his heart. "We have only built Baihei Peak for 3 or 4 years. After the foundation is not very deep, it is impossible for us to search all these places. It occurred to me that the clan is already a stronghold and has been so powerfully infiltrated by the demon sect." Lin Qianlong was not polite, mocking Qingyunzong's unfavorable rule. Listening to this, Wang Xiaoyang's face was pale, and Lin Qianlong pointedly pointed at Sang and cursed Why, saying that he had eyes and no beads, so that the demon sect had penetrated so powerfully. But he couldn't refute it. After all, the incident occurred in Hoayuling under its control, and he couldn't get rid of it anyway. "I'm afraid that he will come back and get him to be convicted after Zuo Qianji finishes the matter." Seeing Wang Xiaoyang forced and did not answer, Lin Qianlong let out a cold snort. His face was full of contempt, and Hu Weiwei's face was not good looking. It seemed that it was impossible for her to grasp Lin Qianlong. 24%. Chapter 143 The Demon Cave. Hu Weiwei turned her gaze and looked at Lin Haoyang, who was aside. Lin Haoyang had also heard that the master who once killed Ma Fengyu was not a bully at first sight. As a result, Hu Weiwei dismissed the idea of knocking the mountain and shaking the tiger, and said, "We still don't know the exact location of the demon cave. I'm afraid we still need the Lin family to explore it. After all, your people are nearby. Those demon cultivators should not be suspicious." Lin Haoyang saw that Hu Weiwei no longer deliberately targeted the Lin family cultivator, so he stepped forward. "Then let me check it out first, and ask Elder Hu to sit here." Hu Weiwei nodded. Bai Qingyun was a little worried that Lin Haoyang wanted to go together, but was stopped by Lin Haoyang. Lin Haoyang gained a secret technique of escape in Shuyang Mountain, the technique of escaping from dry flames and fire, which is as fast as the golden core early stage cultivator, plus a movement technique treasure, which is more than self-preservation. If you bring it again, Bai Qingyun is inconvenient. Lin Qianlong also knew that no one was more suitable than Lin Haoyang, so he didn't say much. Seeing that Lin Qianlong had no objection, Lin Haoyang took the flying sword and went straight to the north of Baihei Peak. A third-order formation is to be built near Baihei Peak. The Lin family naturally checked the surrounding area and found no abnormalities. If this is the case, the demon cultivator must be hidden extremely deep, otherwise the Qingyunzong has not discovered the slightest for so many years. Lin Haoyang went all the way north. He tried his best to act casually. Demon cultivator has been lurking in this area for many years, and there must be a lot of eyeliners. If he finds that Lin Haoyang is here to inquire about intelligence, he will probably run away like a frightened bird. To the north of Baihei Peak, there is a small unknown mountain range. The spiritual qi is relatively thin. There are only a few third-order spiritual veins. Because of its remote location, there is no cultivator gathering here, and very few cultivators will come here. In the nameless mountains, 2 cultivators shrouded in black robes are hiding in the dark. These 2 are secret sentries arranged by Demon Cultivator. If anyone wants to enter this unnamed mountain range, they will inevitably not escape their eyes. It seems to be Lin Haoyang of the Lin family. How could he come here? A tall man said. "Oh, don't be suspicious. We saw few Lin family members 3 or 4 years ago. Even Lin Qianlong has been here. With the master's arrangement, he can't find anything." Another thin man said nothing. Indeed, when the food road was built that year, the Lin family explored the vicinity for a long time. In the end, it was also because of this unnamed mountain range that the speed of the camel beast would be greatly reduced, so that the stronghold was placed on Baihei Peak. Lin Xuanjia had come to inspect this mountain range, except for some basically useless third-order spiritual veins, and did not have any resources. Lin Haoyang didn't know that there was a demon cultivator watching him in the dark. When he came to this mountain range, he only felt a breath of killing. After the cultivation killing, Lin Haoyang not only can control the killing intent himself, but he is also extremely sensitive to the killing intents of others. Just now, as soon as he flew into the airspace of this mountain range, he felt a very strong killing aura. This killing aura was very similar to Huiyu Ridge. After a large number of cultivators and mortal deaths, it was imprinted on this area. A breath in the area. These places are generally called fierce lands, and fierce creatures are often bred in them. Sometimes they are ghosts, and sometimes they are upgraded demonic beasts. Lin Haoyang frowned slightly. After sensing the aura of this place, he had 3 guesses in his heart that this place should be the place where the Devil's Cave is located. But the area is not small. If you forcefully rush in, it is still very likely that the demon cultivator inside will escape. Therefore, Lin Haoyang remained silent and continued to want to fly into this mountain range. Seeing Lin Haoyang flying into the mountains, the 2 cultivators breathed a sigh of relief. The Devil Sect cultivator did not block the entire mountain range, but went the other way, without revealing the Devil Dao aura. Even Lin Qianlong could not see the Devil Dao cultivator inside. If Lin Haoyang stayed outside this unnamed mountain range, it would make the 2 of them vigilant, fearing what Lin Haoyang might find. By chance, Lin Haoyang escaped the temptation of the demon sect and went further into the mountains. Entering this mountain range, the feeling in Lin Haoyang's heart became stronger. Thinking about it, there were a lot of people who died here, even beyond imagination. The Lin family's governance of mortals is considered acceptable, but the Lin family now has close to 4 to 5 million mortals, and the area is so extensive, plus some small families, and people from the other 4 families. If a few disappear a day, no one will pay attention. Thinking of this, Lin Haoyang's face paled. Judging by this breath, the number of mortals who died in the hands of these demon cultivators might have exceeded 10,000. The anger in Lin Haoyang's heart was about to be overwhelmed. If he could do it, he could not wait to rush to it directly. Just when Lin Haoyang was angry, Dantian shocked, and the voice of the little golden dragon reached his ears. Boy, there is a magic cave here. I didn't expect that after so many years, demon cultivator has not been eradicated. It is really tenacious. Lin Haoyang didn't expect that little golden dragon would wake up at this time. Generally, he would only need to find some treasure before he would recover. Obviously, the little golden dragon is also very sensitive to the breath of this demon cultivator, otherwise, how could the little golden dragon wake up just here? Lin Haoyang hurriedly looked inside Divine Sense, saying, Why, can you sense demon cultivator? The little golden dragon flew out of the jade fault, circled in the air, and said, The demon cultivator in the Wonderland back then was the object of hatred by the world. After I was refined, the previous generation holders had killed countless demon cultivators. Naturally, I am very familiar with demon cultivator. However, the demon cultivator here is simply weak compared to the one killed by the previous master. Quote. It was the first time that Lin Haoyang heard Xiao Jinling mention its previous master. It should be said that it has a poor understanding of Yuk. The previous master of Yuk is very likely to be an immortal. But now is not the time to ask about these things. The thing he should solve most now is to find out the specific location of these demon cultivators. Immediately, Lin Haoyang asked again. Then you can sense the specific location of the demon cavern, or, how far is the demon cultivator and cultivation base in this demon cavern? Little Jinlong nodded when he was asked such a question. After that, he actually swam out of Lin Haoyang's body again and looked around once again with Lin Haoyang's eyes. In the end, Lin Haoyang's gaze stayed under an inconspicuous low mountain. The low mountain was very ordinary, even without spiritual veins. It can be said that if it weren't for the little golden dragon, Lin Haoyang would never have noticed this low mountain. 100 meters below the low mountain, there is an underground cave, where is the place where demon cultivator is entrenched. There are more than 40 demon cultivator people in it. The cultivation base is the highest, in the golden core state. After the little Jinlong said, he secretly faded away, back on top of Yuk. Now that he had the exact location of the demon cultivator, Lin Haoyang did not stop and returned according to the original path. Since there was a demon cultivator in the golden core period, he could not start the snake and let the snake run away. Lin Haoyang went out of this unnamed mountain for hundreds of miles, and only then did he send out a sound transmission, and let Lin Qianlong, Hu Weiwei and others rush here. 24%. Chapter 144 The Battle of Demon Slaying. One day later, following Lin Haoyang's guidance, Lin Qianlong, Hu Weiwei and others came to Lin Haoyang's hiding place. Lin Haoyang, how has the hiding place of Demon Cultivator been determined? Hu Weiwei asked. Lin Haoyang nodded and waved. The spirit power in the air gathered and finally turned into a map of an unknown mountain range. When Hu Weiwei saw this map, her eyes lit up, and it seemed that Lin Haoyang was already 80% sure of this trip. Then, a red dot lit up on the map, which was exactly the location of the low mountain that Lin Haoyang had explored before. Even on the map, this low mountain is unremarkable. When Lin Haoyang pointed here, Wang Xiaoyang frowned and said, "There is no spiritual vein here, are you sure it is here?" Although Hu Weiwei didn't speak, but there was doubt on her face. Although Lin Qianlong believed in Lin Haoyang, he did not understand that he had been to this unnamed mountain, but he had no impression of this low mountain. Lin Qianlong is also a smart person. He immediately understood the cleverness of Demon Cultivator and chose a place that no one could think of. It was dark under the light. Even if you reached that low mountain, you could not guess what was hidden under the low mountain. As for Hu Weiwei, of course she also understands this truth, but as the person responsible for this siege of Demon Cultivator, she cannot make a decision lightly, or let Demon Cultivator escape. I am afraid that countless people will be killed. Seeing Hu Weiwei's appearance, Lin Haoyang naturally knew that what Hu Weiwei needed was evidence, but it was impossible for Lin Haoyang to take out Yuke. I can say that Demon Cultivator is hidden in that low mountain. Naturally, I used some methods, but this method is not convenient to tell the two. If you don't want to believe us, our Lin family will do it yourself. Lin Haoyang said. Listening to this, Hu Weiwei frowned slightly. Indeed, there are own secrets among cultivators, and no one will easily disclose some secret methods to others. Now Hu Weiwei had no choice but to believe in Lin Haoyang. After thinking about it for a while, Hu Weiwei spoke. Okay, then I will believe you for a while, powerful but not careless. At that time, we will be divided into two teams. Fellow Taoist and I will lead a group of foundation building cultivators to kill the low mountain. The fellow Taoist Wang brought some other rogue cultivators to guard outside to prevent Demon Cultivator from escaping. Quote. Lin Haoyang also agreed with Hu Weiwei's proposal. Demon Cultivator is cunning. Who knows if there is another secret way to let Wang Xiaoyang stay outside to prevent fish from slipping through the net. Lin Qianlong and Wang Xiaoyang both nodded their heads in agreement. Soon, everyone set up the escape light and flew towards the unnamed mountain range as quickly as possible. There were 2 golden cores and 20 foundation buildings who accompanied them to kill the short mountain. Such strength, as long as there is no nascent soul-old demon in this magic cave, it can naturally be won. Lin Haoyang returned and brought a large number of golden core and foundation building cultivators. The 2 demon cultivators guarding outside the unknown mountain naturally realized that they were wrong and hurriedly sent a sound transmission note to the demon cultivator in the low mountain. Lin Haoyang and the others were extremely fast, and it took only an hour to rush from this fringe area to the low mountain. There was no time for this group of rogue cultivators to evacuate in such a short time. Soon, Shen Yuyao, the golden core demon cultivator in the low mountain, received the letter. At this moment, he was looking tangled. Lin Haoyang brought people here. It is very likely that the low mountain has been exposed, and Lin Haoyang brought people and horses to strangle them. Just when he was hesitant, a pale old man walked over, seeing that Shen Yuyao was so hesitant, too. Why, scared? We have been hiding here for 50 years. No one can find us. I've heard of Lin Haoyang, but it's just a foundation building cultivator. What storms can it cause? The blood demon flower will be fully mature in a year. If you fail to become a blood demon flower, the old thing will not let us go. But don't forget, the public loses the charm and made a soul oath. As long as we help him to become a blood demon flower, he will give us freedom. Quote. Demon cultivator is different from the righteous cultivator. They have no family friendship. Although they also have a relationship between master and apprentice, the master usually plant restrictions for their apprentices. If the apprentice is disobedient, the master can kill the apprentice at any time. This also makes the relationship between demon cultivator, master and apprentice, become a master and slave in disguise. No one wants to be a lifelong slave and be enslaved by others. Therefore, the general demon cultivator will have conditions for lifting restrictions. The condition for the 2 golden cores is to plant blood demon flowers. As long as they plant blood demon flowers, the restrictions will be lifted and they will be free. This is also where Shen Yuyao's hesitation lies. Freedom and death. She wants to win and choose freedom. Fully alert, ready to fight. 1 hour later, Lin Haoyang and others arrived at the low mountain in the sky. Looking at the low mountain, Lin Haoyang could already feel the terrifying killing intent. That's it, that strong killing intent is still there, Lin Haoyang said. Hu Weiwei had never cultivated the killing intent, and naturally couldn't feel the killing intent, but at this moment, the arrow was on the string and she had to send it out, and she immediately ordered. Everyone do it, level up this mountain for me. Following Hu Weiwei's order, 20 foundation building cultivators took action one after another, and one after another attack fell on the low mountain. Boom boom boom. The dwarf mountain is just an ordinary rock. In order to hide it, Demon Cultivator didn't even arrange the formation on it, so there was no way that it could withstand the violent bombardment of the people. Just a stick of incense time, Aoshin was cut in half by everyone. At the bottom of the low mountain, both Shen Yuyao and the old man had pale expressions. Unexpectedly, Lin Haoyang was so aware of their hiding place. Unless they had leaked secrets, how could it be so clear? Shen Yuyao and the old man came to a blood-red water pool 10 meters wide. Here, it is not water, but blood, human blood. And these human blood are used to feed a strange flower in the center of the blood pool. It is the blood demon flower mentioned by the old man. This blood demon flower has been planted for 50 years. Over the past 50 years, they have been providing human blood for them, and they will soon be cultivated when they see it. Unexpectedly, they have fallen short. Shen Yuyao took the immature blood demon into his hands with one move, and turned around and said, Gai Lin and Qing Yunzong have already been killed, but it's a pity that they haven't been able to become blood demon flowers. Wait for each of you to escape. The underground caves were shaken by the beating. These low-level demon cultivators were already extremely scared. Now that they heard Shen Yuyao's words, they would dare to wait any longer, and immediately rushed out of the ground, preparing to flee for their lives. Shen Yuyao didn't care about the lives of these people. The reason she said so was that she wanted these people to delay her for a while, so that they could escape. Boom. The entire low mountain was completely leveled by Lin Haoyang and others. In an instant, it was like a mouse's den. Tens of rays fled in all directions. There were also dozens of condensed demon cultivators, who were also afraid to escape from the ground and fled madly in all directions. Go. Lin Haoyang and the others were prepared long ago. How could they let these people escape like this? Seeing a demon cultivator in the middle stage of the foundation building, Lin Haoyang sacrificed the Zunyuan sword and only cut it off at him. Lin Xuanlin and Bai Qingyan also entangled a foundation building middle stage demon cultivator, making him unable to escape. Soon, 10 or so foundation building demon cultivators were entangled by Qingyunzong people, and 6 foundation building cultivators were responsible for cleaning up those demon cultivators. Lin Qianlong and Hu Weiwei did not rush to take action. Lin Haoyang said that there is a golden core demon cultivator in this magic cave. If the golden core demon cultivator does not appear, they cannot easily take action. Otherwise, a careless person will let him escape. 24%. Chapter 145. Raising ghosts with the body. The methods of demon cultivator are weird and vicious, the same as the ordinary cultivator of cultivation base. Unless Dao law restrains it, it is difficult to beat demon cultivator. Thunder spiritual roots, fire spiritual roots cultivator, and Buddhism cultivator are all naturally restrained against demon cultivator. Although Lin Haoyang is the golden fire wood third spiritual roots cultivator, the golden spiritual roots occupies the main position. Although I don't know what kind of cultivation technique of the Buddha profound art, he has not cultivated a fire attribute spell. With demon cultivator, Lin Haoyang can only rely on strength to crush. Others also know that demon cultivator is not easy to deal with. It is either one level higher than the other's strength, or the two attack them together. As a result, these 10 foundation building demon cultivators had no chance to escape, and they were entangled. Lin Haoyang's opponent is a pale, middle-aged cultivator. The cultivation base is located on the 5th floor of the foundation building. With Lin Haoyang's current strength, it can be said that he can easily capture it. The Zunyuan sword flew out and cut off at this person at a very fast speed. The flying sword would be the same as the flying sword, and the Zunyuan sword was 2 or 3 times faster than that. As soon as the Zunyuan sword flew out, the middle-aged cultivator looked down. Knowing that Lin Haoyang was not easy to deal with, he immediately stopped thinking about how to escape. He was no faster than Lin Haoyang's flying sword. The middle-aged cultivator turned around, and a round bowl was sacrificed by him. The round bowl swelled, blocking the flying Zunyuan sword. Although Yuanbo is Bufin, it is only a third-order middle-grade magical item, and it is not the opponent of Zunyuan's sword at all, and it is quickly retreated steadily. Not everyone is a refiner like Lin Haoyang, who is not bad magical item, especially demon cultivator like them. That is, there is no way to make money and no sect worship. If you want to get spirit stones, you can only fight with your life. Demon cultivator is worse than rogue cultivators. Suppressed by Lin Haoyang's Zunyuan sword, the middle-aged cultivator's complexion was pale, but he didn't panic. He slapped his chest and spouted a mouthful of blood, which happened to fall on the round bowl. Lin Haoyang frowned when he saw this scene, unable to see any tricks the middle-aged cultivator was playing. But Lin Haoyang wouldn't let him live so well either. Xuan Yuanjian cut out frantically, and a killing intent sword light quietly cut off to the middle-aged cultivator. Facing the Zunyuan sword, the middle-aged cultivator supported it for a while, and then Yuanbo shook, and even shook the Zunyuan sword. Immediately afterwards, the round bowl was golden and gradually turned black, and an evil spirit unexpectedly emerged from the round bowl. The evil spirit rushed out, and the middle-aged cultivator waved his right arm, turning his palm into a knife, and even cut off On's entire left arm. The middle-aged man's complexion was painful, and the pain of his broken arm seemed to pierce his heart, but the middle-aged man did not lose his mind. He threw the decapitated left arm and threw it to the evil spirit rushing out of the round bowl. Seeing this, Lin Haoyang frowned. He had also heard some demon cultivator methods, one of which was to raise ghosts by the body. This method is extremely terrible. It needs to behead a foundation-building cultivator, use his Hun and Po as the base to become an evil ghost, and then practice it day and night, looking for other Hun and Po to devour it, and let him advance. The evil spirits cultivated by this method are extremely vicious, and even the master who sacrifices them is difficult to control. Every time the evil spirit is summoned, it needs to use its own flesh and blood for its consumption, otherwise it can't be driven at all. This method is too cruel. Even in Demon Cultivator, very few people cultivate. Unexpectedly, Lin Haoyang saw it today. The evil spirit raised by this person already has the strength of foundation building late stage, and I don't know how many people have swallowed Hun and Po. The strength is already extremely strong. It is no wonder that the middle-aged cultivator has to cut off his arm to feed. The evil spirit swallowed the left arm of the middle-aged cultivator and stretched out his tongue to fill the lower lip with satisfaction. He was originally made by the middle-aged cultivator. Since he ate the flesh and blood of the middle-aged cultivator, he was naturally controlled by it. The evil spirit opened his mouth and spewed out a large amount of black mist, which quickly enveloped Lin Haoyang. Shrouded in the black mist, Lin Haoyang was slightly shocked. This black mist could actually block his divine sense. Originally, with his divine sense, it was not a problem to dig out 40 or 50 miles. But now, it can only extend a distance of 2 or 3 miles. Lin Haoyang didn't dare to be careless anymore, knowing that this evil spirit was not easy, so he slapped the storage bag and sacrificed the 8 trigrams copper plate to protect him. Fire. Lin Haoyang gave a soft drink, and there was a fire light on the 8 trigrams copper plate, but like Lin Haoyang's divine sense, the fire light couldn't shine forward after a certain distance. Lin Haoyang made a move with his left hand to withdraw the killing intent sword light that had been released. He couldn't see the enemy, and it was useless to sacrifice. Suddenly, Lin Haoyang moved to the left, and the evil spirit suddenly shot out from Lin Haoyang's left. Lin Haoyang had been prepared for a while, and the 8 trigrams blocked the evil spirit. The evil spirits refused to give up, and 5 or 6 arms grew on their bodies, attacking the 8 trigrams copper plate together. The 8 trigrams copper plate turned into gold when it turned into an angry metal wall, blocking in front of the evil spirits. The evil spirits could not help the metal walls, leaving only large and small gaps in it. The evil spirit opened his mouth and stuck out a bloody tongue, just about to hit the 8 trigrams copper plate. But the 8 trigrams copper plate spewed out a burst of fire, burned at the evil spirits suffered pain, and returned to the black mist. As soon as the evil spirit retired, Lin Haoyang suddenly felt his own heart cold, a flying needle, taking advantage of Lin Haoyang to deal with the evil spirit. Lin Haoyang's heart suddenly appeared. Lin Haoyang frowned, and it seemed that the middle-aged man could not only summon evil spirits to take action, but could also carry out a sneak attack on his own. Since the 8 trigrams copper plate had to block the evil spirits, it was too late to withdraw at this moment, and the Zunyuan sword was still defending. Lin Haoyang sighed secretly. This demon cultivator is really cunning. Just when the flying needle was about to concentrate on Lin Haoyang, the killing intent sword light suddenly condensed behind Lin Haoyang, and Lin Haoyang didn't need to look back, and the killing intent sword light was accurately cut on the flying needle. To Lin Haoyang's surprise, the flying needle was chopped by the killing intent sword light, and it broke directly. It turned out that in order to cultivate evil spirits, the middle-aged demon cultivator smashed all his belongings on it. This flying needle is just a third-order inferior magical item. And Lin Haoyang's killing intent sword light is extremely sharp, and its power is almost reaching the level of the fourth-order magical item. Once it is cut down, it directly cuts off the flying needle. The flying needle was destroyed, and the man hiding in the black mist groaned, and his heart was full of resentment. He would never have thought that since Lin Haoyang had so many magical items, a weird 8 trigrams copper plate could actually block the attacks of evil spirits. It seemed that this magical item was unusual. He also thought that with these 2 magical items, Lin Haoyang naturally had no other means, but he didn't realize that Lin Haoyang also had a magical item bodyguard. The middle-aged cultivator mistakenly took the killing intent sword Meng as a magical item. Lin Haoyang struggled with the middle-aged cultivator, just want to see demon cultivator's methods. Now that he has seen it, he naturally won't keep his hands. With a shot of the storage bag, Long Yuanjian appeared in his hand, urging spirit power to wrap it, and instantly turned black. I have seen your methods, you are worthless. After that, Long Yuanjian slashed violently, and a sword ray was more than 10 meters long, and it even wiped out the black mist, and the sunlight came in again. Seeing this, Lin Haoyang moved and rushed out of the black mist. As soon as he came out of the black fog, he saw the middle-aged man turning and running away with the evil spirit. It turned out that when Lin Haoyang sacrificed the Dragon Abyss sword, the middle-aged cultivator knew that he was not an opponent. Want to run? Late. The Long Yuan sword was thrown by Lin Haoyang at 3 or 4 times the speed of the middle-aged cultivator. The middle-aged cultivator couldn't escape. After gritting his teeth, he even let the evil spirits block him and buy time for himself. The evil spirit had no emotions and didn't know how to be afraid. He immediately showed his 8 arms and attacked the Long Yuan sword, but how could it be able to stop the Long Yuan sword? With a cut, he cut off his arms. The evil spirit suffered from pain and wanted to escape. Long Yuanjian didn't give a chance, and a roundabout pierced his body. After being blocked by the evil spirit for a while, the middle-aged cultivator had already escaped very far, the evil spirit was cut, and he spit out blood again. But there was joy on his face, thinking that he had escaped, but at this moment, a sword light suddenly flashed, and his head flew out immediately, dying. 24%. Chapter 146 Golden Core Demon Cultivator. The middle-aged demon cultivator was cut off. Lin Haoyang sighed with relief. On the side of the evil spirit, although he was pierced by the Long Yuanjian sword before, he was still struggling and did not completely die. It was clear that the evil spirit was powerful. But with the death of the middle-aged cultivator, the evil spirit has no chance to turn over. When the host dies, a burst of light immediately shines in its body, and then it seems to be burned by flames. Accompanied by a roar, the evil spirit disappeared between heaven and earth. Raising a ghost with the body. When the body is dead, the ghost is naturally unable to live. Lin Haoyang came to the corpse of the middle-aged cultivator and took off its storage bag. The round bowl in his hand was naturally useless because the evil spirits contained therein had disappeared. Moreover, Zunyuan sword's crazy chopping, this round bowl has also been scrapped, and it has no effect. Lin Haoyang fired a real fire and burned the corpse of the middle-aged cultivator. Demon cultivator had weird methods. The tricks of swindling death, contemplating the soul, and seizing the house were complicated. Only burning the corpse was the most secure. After solving the middle-aged cultivator, the others couldn't be as fast as Lin Haoyang. Lin Haoyang sacrificed the Dragon Abyss sword and slashed to a tall demon cultivator who was fighting against Bai Qingyan and Lin Xuanlin. This demon cultivator is different from the youth cultivator. He cultivates his own body, although it is only the cultivation base of the foundation building middle stage. However, the third-tier mid-level magical item can hardly hurt him. Lin Xuanlin and Bai Qingyan joined forces. Although there is a third-tier top-level magical item, they can't kill him for a while. But with Lin Haoyang's participation, this tall cultivator naturally couldn't hold it anymore. Just about to use his blood shield to escape, Bai Qingyan found a chance, and the Emperor's banner suddenly shot out. He couldn't use the blood shield technique, and eventually died in the hands of Lin Xuanlin. Similarly, after plucking his storage bag, Lin Xuanlin hit a real fire and burned his body. As Lin Haoyang and the three successfully wiped out Demon Cultivator, the three of them took action to help others solve the battle. Originally, these demon cultivators were being suppressed, and now more people are attacking. Even if their methods are weird, they can't hold it. In less than an hour, these foundation-building demon cultivators will be strangled clean. At this moment, a foundation-building cultivator on the ground chasing demon cultivator all over, suddenly let out a scream. In front of him, two demon cultivators, a woman and an old man, suddenly violent. The woman grabbed it casually, blocking his attack, and piercing his brain through his defense. Before dying, the foundation-building cultivator yelled desperately and made Hu Weiwei and others look at this place. The demon cultivator of the Golden Core period who can kill him so easily can do it. In this case, he desperately wants to spread the news and cannot let him escape. Hu Weiwei and Lin Qianlong were already paying attention to the quartet and were not at all vigilant. Following the scream of the foundation-building cultivator, the two found that something was wrong and immediately wanted to escape. Lin Haoyang, who had been prepared for a long time, would give them a chance, but just a few breaths, they stopped the two golden cores. Shen Yuyao's cultivation base is on the 6th floor of the foundation building, and the elderly are a bit worse. On the 3rd floor of the foundation building, the odds of winning against Hu Weiwei and Lin Qianlong are not great. Although Lin Qianlong is only on the 2nd floor of the Golden Core, Hu Weiwei is already on the 8th floor of the Golden Core and is extremely powerful. Feeling the breath of Golden Core's fighting method, Song Ziwen, who stayed outside, dared to rush to this side as quickly as possible. When the three foundation buildings join forces, Shen Yuyao must have nowhere to escape. Although Shen Yuyao was only on the 6th floor of Golden Core, and Hu Weiwei both got up, it was only a little wind down, but he couldn't do it if he wanted to escape. Lin Qianlong is a little struggling here. Although the old man has only 3 levels of Golden Core in his cultivation base, his first-hand demon cultivator method makes him a little overwhelmed. But soon, the foundation building cultivator that killed the foundation building demon cultivator vacated his hands to support the two. On Lin Qianlong's side, Lin Haoyang, Bai Qingyan, Lin Xuanlin, Lin Xuanjia, Bai Zonkang, Ma Jingde, and Lu Shiwen attacked together. Lin Xuanjia's understanding of formation has greatly increased since the last time Bilbaoshan, so he exchanged for another Tier 4 formation. Now, he has already exerted 90% of the power of this formation. The 4th order formation, under certain circumstances, is completely equivalent to the power of a Golden Core cultivator, and the 7 Lin Haoyang, the weakest cultivation base, are also the foundation building middle stage cultivation base. With the addition of Lin Haoyang and others, Lin Qianlong finally recovered his disadvantage. The old man is also upset when he sees everyone besieging him. The Tier 4 formation is difficult, and oftentimes, his strength is even more difficult to use. Also, what he didn't expect was that Lin Haoyang actually possessed a Tier 4 magical item. He has cultivated Golden Core for so long, and only has 2 Tier 4 magical items. Before, he was able to suppress Lin Qianlong because he had 1 Tier 4 magical item more than Lin Qianlong. Seeing that the situation was not good, the old man threw the Tier 4 soul flag in the air. The soul flag swelled in the wind and turned into a size of 20 meters. Seeing this, Lin Haoyang and others frowned, wondering what the Golden Core demon cultivator was playing. Just when everyone was puzzled, the soul flag was dead, and a black mist whirlpool appeared in the soul. The whirlpool revolved, and the resentful souls rushed out from inside. The number of this soul is extremely large, probably no fewer than hundreds. The most powerful, its strength is probably not lower than the foundation building late stage. After the resentful soul rushed out, it was overwhelming and went straight to Lin Haoyang and others. These resentful souls are all grim-faced, and you can tell at a glance that they are tortured and killed by this old man, and then take their souls and refine them into the soul flags, otherwise there will be no such resentment. The formation in Lin Xuanjia's hands turned into a gold cover, protecting everyone in it, and the ghosts were not allowed to come in, and they began to attack violently around the gold cover. Even though Lin Haoyang and the others have done a good job, there are too many injustices, and they won't be able to solve them for a while. Hey, although it is a pity to lose the soul of refining for 100 years, it is still important to life. You guys have fun right here. The old man's voice suddenly came. Hearing this voice, Lin Haoyang's expression changed. It seemed that the old man wanted to use these resentful souls to hold them back so that he had a chance to get out. The patriarch, never let this person escape, otherwise, I don't know how much he will suffer. Lin Haoyang said. Lin Qianlong understood what Lin Haoyang meant. Since Lin Haoyang returned from Shuyang Mountain, he had put all the cultivation techniques he got in his family, and Lin Qianlong had already completed the art of escape from the flames. The two of them had a strong heart, and at the same time they performed the technique of escaping the flames and fire, which turned into two flames, and rushed out of the gold cover. Seeing this, the evil spirits outside wanted to step forward to stop them. But just when they approached Lin Haoyang, they were forced to retreat from the flames that the two of them talked about. The dry flames that this escape method turned had the effect of restraining the ghosts. Seeing this, other resentful souls did not dare to stop them, and made a way for Lin Haoyang and the other two. Puff! Lin Haoyang and two rushed out of the encirclement of resentful souls, and when they saw the old man who had just escaped, they chased after him. The wraith in the soul flag was completely released just now, and his wastage was also great, and because the soul flag was finally out of the resentment, this magical item basically lost its power, and it can only be restored after replenishing the resentment soul. Now when he was weak, seeing two flames chasing him, he was afraid, and his speed increased 3 times, and he wanted to escape. However, the speed of the dry flame escape technique was a few yuan, and the time of a stick of incense caught up with the old man. Fighting again, the old man is no longer Lin Qianlong's opponent, and with Lin Haoyang's support, he loses even faster. Lin Haoyang found the right opportunity and played a soul fixation technique. When the old man knew the sea stinging, the flying sword sacrificed by the two had his head beheaded, his heart was broken, and he could not die again. Killing the old man, Lin Haoyang felt like a stone fell in his heart. Opening the old man's storage bag, Lin Haoyang only took the 5,000 spirit stones in it, and nothing else. They can't use demon cultivator's things, and they have to worry about the methods that demon cultivator left on it. It's better to burn them. Afterwards, the two burned the corpse of the old man, together with the storage bag, into ashes. 25%. Chapter 147 Blood Demon Flower. After solving the Golden Core Demon Cultivator, Lin Haoyang and the two returned to the original location and found that Bai Qingyun and others had also broken through the group of resentful souls. After everyone strangling, there were still some resentful souls running away. These resentful souls are no longer a climate and can be solved by anyone. But leaving these resentful souls is also a big disaster, so they must destroy all these resentful souls, or send these resentful souls to samsara as much as possible. After Lin Haoyang and the others wiped out all these resentful souls, they rushed to Hu Weiwei. Although Shen Yuyao only has the cultivation base on the 6th floor of the foundation building, the devil Dao she repaired was a corpse training. In the fight with Hu Weiwei, Shen Yuyao unexpectedly took out 2 golden core corpses. Under the control of Shen Yuyao, the 2 puppets were 80% sure in front of him. Although these corpse puppets can't use spells, Shen Yuyao has long been inaccessible to these corpse puppets, and ordinary cultivators can't break the body of the corpse puppets. The 2 corpse puppets, plus Shen Yuyao, are the combat power of the 3 golden core cultivators. The sudden turn of the battle made Hu Weiwei upset. Fortunately, more than one foundation building cultivator helped him entangle a golden core corpse puppet, otherwise, she might have ditched a sailboat today. Later, Song Ziwen rushed to stabilize the situation. Although Song Ziwen was only the golden core early stage, it was not a problem to just drag a corpse. Without the 2 corpse puppets, Shen Yuyao has no power to shake the sky. Hu Weiwei, who is fierce, also sacrificed a 4th-level magical item. Finally, Shen Yuyao was seriously injured and even his left arm was cut off by Hu Weiwei. When the 2 of Lin Haoyang arrived, Shen Yuyao had been driven into desperation, but at this moment, Shen Yuyao suddenly played a strange magical decision with his right hand. This method never hit Hu Weiwei, but instead hit 2 corpse puppets. Hu Weiwei was anxious to kill Shen Yuyao, how could he care for these details? But this scene was so good to be seen by Lin Haoyang, who dared to come, and immediately shouted. Run! 2 corpse puppets are going to blow themselves up. Lin Haoyang's roar instantly spread to the ears of everyone present. Those present knew who Lin Haoyang was. Besides, this corpse puppet was already in the golden core state. If it exploded, they might not have time to escape. It is better to believe that it is there than to believe it is not. The own life is the most important. These Qingyunzong cultivators run faster than each. Even Song Ziwen quickly evacuated the corpse puppet that was entangled with him. Boom, boom. Soon after Lin Haoyang shouted, there were 2 loud noises in succession, and the 2 puppets exploded. When refining the corpse puppet, Shen Yuyao also put some special spiritual objects in it, which can make it even more powerful. Despite Lin Haoyang's reminder, Some Qingyunzong cultivators who were eagerly evacuating to safety in the future were still affected by this self-detonation power and suffered serious injuries. Fortunately, death did not appear. Shen Yuyao was annoyed. His own hand was absolutely secret. Even Hu Weiwei hadn't noticed it, but the bad thing was in Lin Haoyang's hands. However, before she could make any more moves, Hu Weiwei no longer gave him a chance. Hu Weiwei urged the fourth-order top-grade magical item to behead her. After ending Shen Yuyao's life, Hu Weiwei expelled a pill of fire and burned her body clean, leaving only her storage bag. Opening the storage bag, Hu Weiwei searched for it, her face showing extreme resentment. Then take out something from the storage bag, a blood-red strange flower. The flower is the size of a human head. Lin Haoyang looked at this flower, his expression suddenly changed. Although he didn't recognize this flower, the ferocious aura from before appeared in front of Lin Haoyang again. And Lin Haoyang felt certain that that fierce aura came from this strange flower. Lin Haoyang didn't recognize this flower, but Lin Qianlong did, and his face was angry and said, "Blood demon flower. Blood demon flower. They are so inspiring to refine blood demon flower." Lin Haoyang frowned, so it seemed that this blood demon flower was probably not a good thing. People of the demon sect, dare to refine blood demon flowers in my Azure Cloud sect, but it's too easy for them to die. Pass the order on. Don't burn the remaining demon cultivator. Give me cramps. Take out the Hun and Po, refine them into the oil lamp, and place them in front of the mountain gate, so as to impress you. At this moment, Hu Weiwei said. Afterwards, Hu Weiwei put the blood demon flower into the storage bag, and she didn't even look at the things left by Shen Yuyao, but fired a pill fire again, and burned the entire storage bag completely. Seeing Hu Weiwei doing this, Lin Qianlong sighed and said, "Don't blame fellow Taoist Hu for such an atmosphere. Refining blood demon flowers is indeed a matter of anger and grievance. The growth of blood demon flowers requires continuous watering with human blood. If you want to cultivate a mature blood demon flower, you need human blood. I'm afraid it will take more than 10,000 people." Quote. Hearing what Lin Qianlong said, Lin Haoyang's heart was also shocked. There are tens of thousands of people. This is an extremely terrifying number, and there are probably many things in this cultivator. Lin Haoyang originally wanted to refine these killing intents for his own use, but after Lin Haoyang knew the source of these killing intents, he couldn't raise any interest. After the cultivation kills the word, Lin Hao's masculine character became more and more decisive, but Lin Haoyang thought that he had never killed innocent people indiscriminately, and Dao heart was perfect. He didn't open the killing precept because he wanted to condense the killing. I am afraid, this also needs to thank Shuyang Mountain for the trial, ascension his state of mind Dao heart. Otherwise, most people are obsessed with the power of killing characters, and I'm afraid they can't help but create a killing. Because of the discovery of the blood demon flower, this war of killing demons could not end so easily. Following Hu Weiwei's order, a few dozen demon cultivator and a foundation building demon cultivator were captured alive. They will be escorted back to Qingyunzong alive, and then they will be slapped, and their souls will be refined into oil lamps. We can't blame Hu Weiwei's methods for being so cruel. There are regulations in the world of immortality, and everyone who participates in refining blood demon flowers is handled in this way. Because the refining of blood demon flowers is too damaging, outsiders know that not only will they not blame it, but will shout out loudly. However, this requires the blood demon flowers refined by demon cultivator to be seen in the world. Soon, everyone entered the magic cave under the low mountain and found that after years of operation by demon cultivator, it was already quite large. If it weren't for the sudden killing of Lin Haoyang and others this time, and directly leveled the low mountain, this demon cave would not know how long it would exist, so how many people would be buried in this demon cave. Finally, Hu Weiwei, Lin Qianlong, and Song Ziwen urged the pill fire at the same time, and burned everything in this magic cave. Hu Weiwei was still worried, and asked everyone to carry mud and stones to fill up the entire cave, making this magic cave completely useless. Because of the discovery of the blood demon flower, although only one foundation building cultivator was lost this time, everyone was still unhappy. Hu Weiwei just thanked Lin Haoyang for reminding everyone in Qingyunzong at the critical moment. After that, Hu Weiwei took the Qingyunzong people back to the Qingyunzong mountain gate, and Lin Haoyang and others also returned to the Lin family. The Lin family also hung the white banners, and the bodies of Lin Shuyun and others were sent to the Lin family cemetery. They died fighting for family affairs. The family has issued generous pensions, and their descendants and relatives will also receive preferential treatment. 25%. Chapter 148. After Hu Weiwei and others returned to Qingyunzong, they took the dozen demon cultivators, whipped their skins, and refined their souls into oil lamps, and hung them in front of the Qingyunzong mountain. The blood demon flower had its roots abolished, so it turned into a waste flower and hung together in front of the mountain gate to see the world. In fact, if the blood demon flower is not abolished, demon cultivator will definitely come to steal it after hearing the news, but this flower is too damaging to stay in the world and cannot leave demon cultivator a slight chance. There are 2 demon caves in the Qingyunzong, the other is not so huge, only a few foundation building demon cultivators are entrenched. The 2 golden cores went personally, and even if they didn't know the exact location, they found out these demon cultivators through an inch-by-inch search and killed them all. The demon cultivator in the Azure Cloud sect was settled, and the other 2 cases are gradually coming to an end. There was a demon trouble in Taiyamen many years ago, and the restrictions in sect were extremely strict. Once the slightest trace of demon cultivator is found, Tai Gate will send people to investigate it. Demon cultivator loses the soil for survival, and high-rank demon cultivator gradually withdraws from Tai Gate. Part of the demon cultivator in Huayulan came from Taiyamen, while a larger part came from Wangjizong. This is also the reason Zuo Qianji rushed to Emperor Jizong in a hurry. In the territory of Emperor Jizong, there is probably a demon cultivator from the nascent soul realm. Unexpectedly, when Dryfire Pavilion destroyed a demon cave, there were 3 golden core demon cultivators in it. Unexpectedly, although 3 golden core demon cultivators were destroyed, there was also a golden core, the digital foundation building fell. It didn't take long for the Dryfire Pavilion to lose 2 golden cores one after another, which greatly damaged the strength of the Dryfire Pavilion. The Azure Cloud sect also has a purple gold vein, which can continuously cultivate the golden core. After a few decades, the Azure Cloud sect will also completely shake off the Dryfire Pavilion. Such a situation made the old opponent of Dryfire Pavilion very uncomfortable, and he even started to explore the territory in a large area, and wanted to find some precious minerals that were happy. However, this is basically futile. For thousands of years, I don't know how many times I have been groped within the Dryfire Pavilion. Some resources have basically been explored. If you want to discover new resources, you can only turn your eyes to the wilderness. But now the land reclamation has not yet started, and the main force of demonic beasts is not controlled by the Sword Alliance. Dryfire Pavilion cannot attack alone. Otherwise, the Tier 5 demonic beasts will join forces to attack. I am afraid their thousands of years of foundation will be destroyed. The 3 demon cultivator of the Wu Kingdom were basically settled, but a great battle started in the Wangjizong territory. According to Zuo Qianji, Wangjizong is the home of demon cultivator. This time to visit, he naturally received the attention of Wangjizong. 3 sects of Wu Kingdom have found a large number of demon cultivators, and Zuo Qianji personally came to Wangjizong. If Wangjizong doesn't pay attention to it, I'm afraid it will be unpopular. Soon, with Zuo Qianji's deduction and Wu Guo's sect leaders' cooperation, an unprecedented investigation was carried out. Through clues, the old super of demon cultivator was finally locked. Not far from Yekwanfang City, which was jointly founded by the 4 sects, Yekwanfang City is a mixed city with a large number of people. It is an excellent place to hide. Afterwards, Zuo Qianji led Wangjizong's 2 nascent soul Shushi and 10 golden cores, 1 nascent soul in Yekwanfang City, 4 golden cores, and more than 40 foundation building cultivators to besiege the magic cave. There really is a nascent soul demon cultivator in the cave, 6 golden cores, and 20 or 30 foundation building demon cultivator. There is almost no low-rank demon cultivator. It can be seen that this place should be the general forum of demon cultivator, all of which are high-rank demon cultivator. 4 nascent souls besieged the old nascent soul demons, fighting for 3 days and 3 nights before they were completely wiped out. In order to prevent him from reincarnation, Zuo Qianji shattered the soul of the old nascent soul demon into pieces, and he didn't even have a chance to reincarnate. Yekwan Square, the largest market in Zheng's territory, has such a demon cultivator lurking nearby. Naturally, the 4 cases were thoroughly investigated. Lin Haoyang's old adversary, Mu Nianxi, naturally couldn't stay in Wangjizong. Biting his teeth, he had to move again. She was lucky enough to escape the chase of the 4 sects. You must know that even the old nascent soul demons were not able to escape. It can be seen how determined the 4 sects were to eliminate the demons this time. A large number of demon cultivators and even nascent soul old demons have appeared in the borders of Zheng and Wu. This also screamed that some small border countries around them were worried, and they thoroughly checked whether there were demon cultivators in their borders. They don't have the help of Zuo Qianji's deduction, and this time Demon Cultivator has been stunned and will not come out easily. Therefore, their thorough investigations had little effect, and only sporadic Demon Cultivator was caught. This time, the most popular one was Zuo Qianji. Zuo Qianji's deduction technique broke the Demon Cultivator's arrangement for thousands of years, and even the old nascent soul demon with his face was carried in his hands. It can be said that this battle of killing demons was completely driven by Zuo Qianji alone. In addition, Zuo Qianji's cultivation base has also reached the 7th floor of Nascent Soul, making everyone afraid of this person. Wang Zhizong has 4 members of Nascent Soul, who originally didn't value Qingyunzong very much, but after this incident, they paid more than 10% more to Qingyunzong and Zuo Qianji. After solving the Nascent Soul Old Demon, Zuo Qianji also returned to the Purple Cloud Crystal Vein alone, and continued to sit in this important vein. This time, in order to deduce the hiding place of Demon Cultivator, Zuo Qianji also paid the price. I am afraid that in the next 10 years, its cultivation base will not grow anymore. Zuo Qianji is more than 300 years old, and Nascent Soul Cultivator can live up to more than 400 years. With this 10 years missing, Zuo Qianji's chance of impacting God will be much reduced. However, Zuo Qianji must do this, otherwise the Qingyunzong itself will suffer when Demon Cultivator develops. The Mozong came to an end for a while, and the Lin family's spiritual rice trade continued. Because of Zuo Qianji, no one dared to attack the Lin family's idea. After another 2 years, Lin Xiaowen finally cultivated the 9 stages of condensed vein. For the Lin family, this is an extremely important event. Lin Xiaowen has the spirit of spiritual roots and extraordinary qualifications. Lin Haoyang has not trained her less in these years. It has been more than 10 years since she practiced the Taoism at the age of 8. The advancement of cultivation base is very fast in Lin's family. As for the foundation building Dan used by Lin Xiaowen's golden core, Lin Qianlong has always been there for it. As long as Lin Xiaowen's cultivation base cultivation knife condenses the peak, he can borrow the foundation building Dan breakthrough. As long as the spiritual roots cultivator uses the foundation building Dan, the probability of foundation building basically reaches 90%. There is no need for training at all. This is the natural advantage of a person with good qualifications on the path of cultivating. After this happy event, Lin Qianlong was in a good mood and found Lin Haoyang and Bai Zonkang. Haoyang, you said back then that you would hold a marriage ceremony with Qingyan, but these years have been delayed due to various things. Now that you have your spare time, I think it's better to find a good day for the two of you to complete this marriage ceremony. Lin Ganlong said. Bai Zonkang did not speak, but looked at Lin Haoyang. Lin Haoyang smiled and said, "What the patriarch said is exactly what I want, and please reserve an auspicious day for the patriarch." Seeing Lin Haoyang so simply, Bai Zonkang was also pretty worried, and said, "The 8th day of June in 3 months will be good. 3 months will be enough for you to prepare." "Okay, Zonkang, it seems you have already calculated it." Lin Qianlong smiled. "My daughter, of course, she has to take care of her." "Haoyang, you have to treat Qingyan well from now on. I know that Yu Qianlong is in the Yuan, and Qingyan will be on the road from now on, and I need your support." Zuo Qianji said. Lin Haoyang looked down and said, "One day the husband and wife are good for 100 days, and I will definitely advance and retreat together." 25%. Chapter 149. Soon, the event that Lin Haoyang and Bai Qingyan were about to hold a marriage ceremony spread throughout the Lin family, and even Qingyan sect was alarmed. It took only 1 year for Lin Haoyang to step into the 7th floor of the foundation building since the Battle of the Demon Slayer. Coupled with his weird methods, a movement technique treasure, Lin Haoyang can be regarded as a pseudo-golden core combat power. Bai Qingyan, who is originally a different spiritual roots cultivator, is also a third-order pill refining teacher, and within sect, she is also a highly trained object. The future Qingyan sect will definitely be handed over to people like Bai Qingyan. Moreover, the marriage of Lin Bai and his 2 families is also a major event. Lin Qianlong has golden core, and Bai Zonkang has also repaired to the peak of the 9th floor of the foundation building. As long as the Xianjing vein is mined, another Xianjing will be mined. According to the original agreement, this purple cloud crystal will definitely be cut in white. With the incident of Tianzhen that year, Qingyunzong's strict rules, no disciple dared to do anything for personal gain. Therefore, Bai Zonkang is already a quasi-golden core. In addition to the 2 golden cores, the Lin family has had a lot of opportunities over the years. They have obtained several foundation building dans, and the number of foundation buildings within the clan has also greatly increased. Such a force must be wooed by Qingyan sect. Therefore, for Lin Haoyang and Bai Qingyan's marriage ceremony, Qingyan sect sent Song Ziwen to participate. Although Song Ziwen is sect's new golden core, it is enough to explain Qingyunzong's attitude towards the two families. As for the other old friends of the two, it is not counted. At the same time, due to Lin Haoyang's great contribution to the Chongshan Tower, Xian will also come to congratulate Lin Haoyang. Golden Core Cultivator. In addition to Xian, after receiving the news from Taiyuan and Tang Yiwen, he also dared to come from Tianhefeng City. In the first battle in Tianhefeng City, Lin Haoyang turned the tide with his manpower, not only saving Tang Yiwen's life, but also allowing Demon Cultivator to retreat. Although it was damaged, it was fortunate that the whole city did not turn into a magic cave. Afterwards, Tang Yiwen did not have enough money and only gave Lin Haoyang 6,000 spirit stones. This was difficult to compensate for Lin Haoyang's contribution. Tang Yiwen also kept looking for opportunities and wanted to return Lin Haoyang. But for so many years, Lin Haoyang has never been to Tianhefeng City again, and there is no way for him to want to repay his kindness. Soon, 3 months passed. The White Elephant Mountain of Lin's family was full of joy, with lights and festoons everywhere. Although Lin Haoyang was regarded as a junior of the Hao character generation in the Lin family, no one dared to really treat him as a junior. Lin Haoyang has been wise since he was a child, and he didn't have many familiar peers in sect. In his early years, he went out to open a spiritual field for his family in Lian Valley, and there was even less communication with people in the same clan. It wasn't until Lin Haoyang's cultivation base got deeper and he began to perform tasks among the elders of the same clan, and that was how much friendship was received in the clan. In addition, Lin Haoyang Foundation building has many years. Although he is not in the clan for many years, he has a high status in the clan. Most of the foundation building dans are obtained by Lin Haoyang. These people rely on Lin Haoyang for the foundation building. Lin Haoyang held the ceremony of marriage, and the entire Lin family was mobilized. For this occasion, the rainbow trout sea bream produced by the Lin family this year did not appear to be beasts, and all were served in the Great Hall for ordinary people. In addition to rainbow trout sea bream, I also bought a lot of spirit fruit, demonic beasts meat, and even the second-order top grade used for edible spirit rice. This Great Hall is definitely a luxury. Boom! With the sound of a strong bell, the ceremony of marriage officially began. Lin Haoyang does not have an official immortal cave in Baixiang Mountain. He lives in an immortal cave left by his father. For this ceremony, Lin Qianlong personally built a bamboo building for Lin Haoyang in the back mountain. This bamboo building is built on the mountainside of the back mountain. There is also a water pool here, and the environment is very peaceful. Baixiang Mountain is not small. The foot of the mountain is mostly mortal people. The mountainside is mostly disciples of the Lin family, and the backing of the mountain is the residence of the Lin family's foundation building cultivator. As for Lin Qianlong, he has always lived in the Haoshan bamboo house. Apart from the patriarch, only those who have made great contributions to the family and have few longevity can live in Haoshan. Lin Haoyang's construction of bamboo buildings in the back mountain and the establishment of a mortal cave can be regarded as a special treatment for Lin Haoyang. This time the ceremony was also held in the back mountain, and with the ringing of a bell, the ceremony was officially held. The cultivator becomes a Tao companion and does not worship 3 times into the bridal chamber like a mortal. They will swear in front of everyone that they will support each other for the rest of their lives. At the ceremony of marriage, everyone was present. Lin Qianlong, Bai Zonkang, and Lin Xuancheng sat in the first place. These 3 were the elders of the 2, so naturally they should sit in the first place. Then there are 3 golden core cultivators such as Xian, Song Ziwen, and Tang Yiwen. Below are the foundation building cultivators such as Lin Xuanjia, Lin Xuanlin, and Lin Chenglu. Among those present, Lin Xuanlin and Lin Xuanjing were a little frustrated, and there was no joy on their faces. The 2 of them also had a good relationship with Lin Haoyang, especially Lin Xuanlin. She was almost with Bai Qingyan, and the 3 of them spent the longest time together. Although she had never said this estrangement, Lin Haoyang was definitely in her heart. But Lin Xuanjing is different. Lin Xuanjing's ancestors are not good. It can foundation building completely relying on Lin Haoyang's support. Is there a woman who doesn't like such a good man? But Lin Xuanjing knew from the beginning that Bai Qingyan was Lin Haoyang's Tao companion. In this way, she could only hide this emotion in her heart and never mentioned it to outsiders. Although the two have their own minds, today is the day when Lin Haoyang and Bai Qingyan are happy, and they can only congratulate them. Haoyang, Qingyan, although the two of you have been engaged for many years, you haven't held the marriage ceremony. Today, the two of you have completely formed a Dao companion here, and since then you have supported each other and depended on each other on the road. If you can do it, make a soul oath today. Quote. As everyone watched, Lin Haoyang and Bai Qingyan glanced at each other, but they made a soul oath at the same time. The divine sense of the two resonated, entangled with each other, and then drifted towards Mingming. The two felt a little bit more, as if the fetters between the two hid a little bit more. From then on, the two of them no longer shy away from each other, and they became a Dao companion. Lin Haoyang took Bai Qingyan's hand in front of everyone. Before, Bai Qingyan would still be shy, but after so many things, Bai Qingyan also grew up. Naturally, it was not the little girl before, and she let Lin Haoyang take her own hand openly. After the oath was completed, Lin Haoyang slapped his storage bag, took out 2 jade boxes, came to Bai Zonkang's face, and said, Father-in-law, thank you for not disgusting that year. Let Bai Qingyan and me become a Dao companion. I was so unbearable back then. Qingyan did not dislike it either. Now that cultivation base has made a small achievement, it is natural to not forget its roots. These 2 foundation building dans are my dowry. Quote. When Lin Haoyang said this, he really shocked everyone. 2 foundation buildings were used as a bride price, which is not something ordinary people can come up with. As for the 3 of you, except for Bai Zonkang, all of them looked confident. Bai Zonkang glanced at the 2 chubby foundation building pills, then glanced at the triumphant colors Lin Qianlong and Lin Xuancheng, with a wry smile on his face. You 2 old things, since you already knew it, why didn't you tell me how this made my heart suffer? Bai Zonkang smiled bitterly. 25%. Chapter 150. A Word of Love. It's no wonder that Bai Zonkang is so excited. It is true that these 2 foundation building dans are too precious. 1 foundation building dan is equivalent to 10,000 spirit stones, and 2 foundation building dans are equivalent to 20,000 spirit stones. If you give Bai Zonkang 20,000 spirit stones, Bai Zonkang may not be so excited. A foundation building pill can create a foundation building cultivator. Bai Qingyan also covered her small mouth, and she couldn't believe that Lin Haoyang would actually come up with such a betrothal gift, and she just wanted to speak. Lin Haoyang interrupted, saying, Qingyan, don't need to say anything. These 2 foundation building dans are nothing compared to you. Father-in-law gave the most precious to the king, so what can I not give up? After speaking, Lin Haoyang stuffed 2 foundation building dans into Bai Zonkang's hands, smiling. Bai Zonkang's hand holding the foundation building dan trembled a little. He no longer knew what the expression was on his face. There was excitement, happiness, and sorrow. But no matter what, he didn't regret the decision that year. At the table of the ceremony, some people envy and some regret, but these are not important to Lin Haoyang. Today, the 2 formally form a Dao companion, which is the most important. After handing the 2 foundation building pills to Bai Zonkang's hands, Lin Haoyang turned around and said to everyone. In the next small foundation building, there are 3 golden core seniors who come to enjoy their faces. This is the honor of the next. The Lin family prepares a thin wine. I hope you will eat and drink well. As Lin Haoyang's words spread, Lin Xuanyu, the principal of the ceremony, served dishes. All kinds of delicious dishes, spiritual fruits, vegetables came up together, and everyone sighed for the wealth of the Lin family. After that, Lin Haoyang exchanged greetings with 3 golden cores and a group of friends before leaving quietly. Although there is no need to enter the bridal chamber like ordinary people, the young couple has a whisper to say. Naturally, it is medicine to find a quiet place. However, Lin Qianlong, Bai Zonkang, and Lin Xuancheng were watching over the banquet, so naturally there was no problem. Lin Haoyang took Bai Qingyan to the newly built bamboo building, which was elegant and without extravagance, but Bai Qingyan liked it. The 2 of them sat by the water pool. Bai Qingyan took off her shoes and socks, put her jade feet into the water, and rippled from time to time. Haoyang, you have been running for the family for so many years. Although we have an early marriage contract, we have very little time to spend together. Although Zan Lan was with her, she was lonely late at night. Cultivation is like heaven defying, and a little carelessness will kill yellow springs. You have been running around for a long time, and even went to the Shuyang mountain for a trial. I will worry about you for a long time. Bai Qingyan said. Lin Haoyang showed pity on his face. It was the first time he saw Bai Qingyan in such a way in so many years, and it was also the first time that Bai Qingyan confided in his heart. Suddenly, Lin Haoyang put his arms around Bai Qingyan's waist with his hands. He had nothing to explain. Only by giving the person in front of him a warm embrace can he express his debts. Lying in Lin Haoyang's arms, Bai Qingyan had tears on her face, but these were tears of happiness. After a while, Bai Qingyan lay in Lin Haoyang's arms and said, Lin Haoyang, not only are you good at cultivation base, but you are also good at getting messy. Lin Haoyang looked bitter, and said aggrieved. Wrong. I've never gotten into trouble. I only have you in my heart. Bai Qingyan broke free from Lin Haoyang's arms, smirking and said, Isn't there, Lin Xuanjing, Chu Mengyao, Ziyan, and Su Ling'er of the Chongshan Tower, which one is not beautiful celestial immortals, you have been mixing with them all the time. Say no. Lin Haoyang hurriedly waved his hand and said, What does it mean to be with them? It's something to be with them, okay. Puffy. Seeing Lin Haoyang's face serious, Bai Qingyan suddenly smiled. Okay you dare to scare me. Lin Haoyang took Bai Qingyan's hand, and suddenly grabbed Bai Qingyan's waist, making Bai Qingyan laugh non-stop. After playing around for a while, Bai Qingyan said seriously, I won't finish laughing with you, Haoyang. In fact, Zan Lan has always liked you in her heart, but because of me, he never said it. At the ceremony just now. Before Bai Qingyan finished speaking, Lin Haoyang covered Bai Qingyan's small mouth, and said with a melancholy expression, I'm not stupid, I can see Zan Lan's mind naturally, but this dear thing, who can say it thoroughly? I can understand. I can only pretend to be stupid. The cultivator world is not monogamous, but there is only one Dao companion. Bai Qingyan has now become Lin Haoyang's Dao companion, so Lin Xuanlan naturally has no chance. If it is simply being together, then there is definitely no problem, but there is no name and no part. This kind of thing, based on Lin Haoyang's character, is absolutely impossible to do, so Lin Haoyang has no good way. The two stayed in the bamboo building for a while, and then they came to the ceremony of bonding. By this time, the ceremony of bonding was basically over. The guests have also faded away. As for the 3 golden cores, Lin Haoyang needs to send them off in person. Outside Baixiang Mountain, Lin Haoyang and his wife stood in the air, opposite to the 3 golden core cultivators Song Ziwen, Tang Yiwen and Zian, who came to congratulate them. Lin, fellow Taoist, don't send it anymore. Qingyan comes from Qingyan, and we are half a family. Song Ziwen said. Lin Haoyang smiled, knowing that Song Ziwen was trying to win over the Lin family. Lin Haoyang said, the Lin family and Qingyan sect are originally one, so naturally there is no need to be polite. Hearing Lin Haoyang say this, Song Ziwen nodded, and then Yuqi Dongguang left. Sending away Song Ziwen, Lin Haoyang directed Tang Yiwen. Brother Tang is here today. It's a great honor for me to come, my little brother. Tang Yiwen smiled and said, Brother, you are not righteous. You have not come to my Tianhefang city for so many years. I heard that your Lin family's merchants are doing a good job. Why not open some shops in my Tianhefang city? Want to taste it? Speaking of this, Lin Haoyang's eyes brightened and he opened the shop to Tianhefang city. Lin Haoyang had thought about it before, but due to insufficient manpower, he has been on the agenda. Now that the number of Lin's foundation buildings has greatly increased, and with the support of Tang Yiwen, Lin Haoyang feels that this matter is completely feasible. With Brother Tang's words, I will come to visit in the future. Ha ha ha. Okay, brother, you must come. After all, Tang Yiwen also left with flying sword. At this moment, only Ziyan was left, saying, Lin Haoyang, there was news from Ling'er not long ago that she has successfully consolidated the golden core and cultivation base, and will come to the border shortage. Stay here and deal with the border shortage. Lin Haoyang was overjoyed when he heard Su Ling'er succeeded in golden core. He heard that he would stay here forever, frowned and said, why, she doesn't want to compete to become the seed of Chongshan Tower anymore. Ziyan also let out a sigh of relief, saying, Ling'er's grandfather is sect's nascent soul elder, but he died for sect 10 years ago. Before he died, Ling'er's grandfather won the opportunity to become a seed for him. But without the backing of nascent soul, it is not easy to become a seed. If you hadn't helped her get enough contributions in sect this time, I'm afraid her condition would be worse. Therefore, she chose to leave the mountain gate, give up the opportunity to compete for seeds, and seek opportunities in this wild side. Quote. Lin Haoyang understood why the people on the Great Mountain Tower had run on Su Ling'er that day. It turned out that Sulinger was no longer supported by nascent soul. Alright, with her own chance accumulation, she may not have the opportunity to step into nascent soul and rise to the emulsification god. Lin Haoyang said. Ziyan nodded, did not say much, and left Lin's house and returned to Pingyang City. As soon as the 3 golden cores left, this marriage ceremony was also concluded. However, Lin Haoyang took out 3 foundation building dans as a betrothal gift, but it was still people's chat after dinner. 25%. Chapter 151. Battle Beast. After the ceremony, the Lin family resumed their former busyness. After the expansion of the spiritual rice trade, the Lin family's income greatly increased. With this, the 4 families including the Lin family reopened Fengyuanfang City, which was still 32 Zhanfang City, with 8 families in each. At the same time, the third order formation and spiritual veins were built. In order to attract customers, Lin Haoyang and Lin Xuancheng specially refined some magical items and sold them in Fengyuanfang City. The magical item refined by Lin Haoyang is of good quality and powerful, and it is easy to attract a large number of rogue cultivators. Not only the third order magical item, the Lin family has cultivated a large number of family children since the completion of Baiyitang. Now there are 3 second-tier top-grade refining masters, 2 pill refining masters, and 3 spiritual talisman masters. With these late-stage shows, the low-end magical item of the Lin family is also very sufficient, which is fully enough for the needs of Fengyuanfang City. For a time, a large number of rogue cultivators returned to Fengyuanfang City. Because foundation building cultivators gathered here this time, safety was also guaranteed, and even if the animal tide happened again, they could survive safely. After 2 years of the ceremony, Lin Xiaowen repaired to the top of the 9th floor. Cultivation base was inaccessible. Naturally, Lin Qianlong handed over the already prepared foundation building dan to Lin Xiaowen's hands. Lin Xiaowen has been in the family for many years, but because of her special circumstances, she rarely goes out to perform tasks and basically has no net worth. And Lin Xiaowen's parents were mortals, and they didn't have a family shadow. Just at this moment, Lin Haoyang waved his hand and took away 10,000 contribution points directly from his name. For Lin Xiaowen, Lin Haoyang really treated him as his own child. Since Lin Xiaowen's cultivation, Lin Haoyang has been in charge. Where did the patriarch Lin Qianlong get the foundation building tang? Lin Xiaowen immediately found Lin Haoyang and asked him to help protect the law. After the ceremony, Bai Qingyan did not immediately return to Qingyan sect. Zuo Qianji was the master, and she won 5 years of leave for Bai Qingyan. During these 5 years, Bai Qingyan did not need to perform the sect mission and was completely free. Lin Xiaowen is also very close to Bai Qingyan. Suo Ran is about the same age. At Shoxian's age, he can completely ignore it, but Bai Qingyan has always used Lin Xiaowen as his own child. Not long ago, Bai Qingyan even recognized the goddaughter Lin Xiaowen. Xiaowen, although the chances of the spiritual roots cultivator foundation building are different, you can't be careless. Your godmother is also different from spiritual roots. She knows more about this and has experience. Let her tell you something. Lin Haoyang said. After that, Bai Qingyan told Lin Xiaowen what he had learned about own foundation building. After Bai Qingyan finished speaking, Lin Haoyang said, "Okay, your godmother said it in great detail, and I have nothing to say, you digest it first. Adjust yourself to the best condition and start closed-door training breakthrough tomorrow. Your godmother and I will protect the law for you, so you can break through with peace of mind." Quote. Lin Xiaowen nodded, and began to recall what Bai Qingyan said that a day later, Lin Xiaowen adjusted her own state to the best, and then directly started closed-door training. With Lin Haoyang and his wife guarding the law outside, she was extremely relieved. Outside Immortal Cave, Bai Qingyan looked worried. Don't be afraid. Although Xiaowen usually jumps off, she is still very attentive in cultivation, and the Fengyan determined for her is also very suitable for her. She should be sure of her closed-door training this time. Lin Haoyang said. Bai Qingyan also knows, but she is still a little worried about Lin Xiaowen foundation building, maybe because Xiaowen called her a mother. Although Lin Haoyang and Bai Qingyan formally became Dao companions, they have never experienced dual cultivation, and they are still Yuan Yin Yuan Yang bodies. This is one of the reasons why the two have entered the cultivation base so quickly for many years. Lin Haoyang and his wife guarded outside the Immortal Cave, protecting Lin Xiaowen with peace of mind. Lin Qianlong came once during the period and saw that Lin Xiaowen was fine, so they left with peace of mind. 1 month later, Lin Xiaowen's closed-door training's Immortal Cave received a shock. A spirit power vortex formed in the sky of Immortal Cave, and spirit power followed the vortex into the Immortal Cave. Bai Xiangshan is now the 4th rank spiritual vein, enough for the cultivation of Golden Core Cultivator, Lin Xiaowen Breakthrough Foundation Building. It is naturally able to satisfy. It can be seen that the spirit power whirlpool formed by Lin Xiaowen is sky blue, and it should be influenced by her cultivation technique and win spiritual roots. At this point, Lin Xiaowen's foundation building is no longer a problem. As long as the spirit power vortex dissipates, it basically represents Lin Xiaowen's expansion of the sea of spirit power, and the foundation building has been successfully completed. This vision was naturally seen by everyone in the Lin family. In the past few years, there have been many spirit power whirlpools on the White Elephant Mountain. Because Lin Xiaowen is a different spiritual roots cultivator, she is also very popular in the Lin family, and the elders in the foundation building also take good care of her. It can be said that Lin Xiaowen is quite popular in Bai Xiangshan. The success of the foundation building now naturally made the whole clan very happy. Lin Qianlong looked at the spirit power whirlpool that just dissipated not far away and smiled contentedly. The younger generation of the Lin family is prosperous, and of course his patriarch is happy. 3 days later, Lin Xiaowen ended closed-door training and walked out of Immortal Cave. With 3 days to consolidate the cultivation base, Lin Xiaowen was able to control Flying Sword well. Godfather, Godmother, I succeeded, and I am also a foundation building cultivator from then on. As soon as he came out, Lin Xiaowen ran over excitedly and hugged Lin Xiaowen's arm. With a smile on Lin Haoyang's face, he glanced at Lin Xiaowen and found that spirit power was restrained and deep. It seemed that the breakthrough should be smooth. Xiaowen, even though this foundation building Dan I will always be my contribution points, you still have to change my 10,000 spirit stones. Lin Haoyang said. Upon hearing this, Lin Xiaowen felt bitter on her face and said, Godfather, that's 10,000 spirit stones. With my 600 spirit stones per year at home, how many years will it take to pay off? This time, Lin Haoyang was very firm, saying, the cultivator must go through hardships first. Do you know how hard it was for your godmother and I to work for the foundation building? For the 9,000 spirit stones, the 3 of us went deep into the wild to hunt down tier 3 demonic beasts. At that time, we had our pulse realm. If you get used to it too easily, it will be bad for you. Although you are a different spiritual roots cultivator, so are you godmother. So don't be arrogant. Quote. When Lin Haoyang talked about the past years, Bai Qingyan also had a feeling. This time she did not protect Lin Xiaowen, but instead supported Lin Haoyang. Seeing that both of them were so determined, Lin Xiaowen had to respond. She never knew that Lin Haoyang had paid so much for the foundation building. However, for her, the debt of 10,000 spirit stones is still a lot for her. She has cultivated with peace of mind over the years and has not systematically studied the fairy tales. Therefore, apart from the 600 spirit stones worshipped by the Lin family each year, she has no other income. If she wants to pay off the debt of these 10,000 spirit stones, she does not know that it will be the year of the monkey. Don't be discouraged. I think you are naturally close to demonic beasts, and you play very well with the 2 flamed brown tigers. So I want you to learn the way to defend against beasts. Not only can we manage camel beasts, our Lin family also has a batch of war beasts. Combining battle beasts, magic armor, and cultivator, I think only this way can I exert my strongest strength. Lin Haoyang said. As soon as Lin Haoyang finished speaking, Lin Xiaowen's eyes lit up. For demonic beasts, she was naturally close and liked, and was very satisfied with Lin Haoyang's suggestions. But Bai Qingyan opened her mouth wide. Battle beast, she didn't know what Lin Haoyang thought. If this is really realized, not only the Lin family, but the entire Qingyan sect will have a huge ascension. 25%. Chapter 152 Su Linger and Bai Qingyan. After that, Lin Haoyang discussed with Lin Qianlong and let Lin Xiaowen open a hall alone, the Imperial Animal Hall. However, this hall has not yet been officially opened. First, the number of demonic beasts in the Lin family is too small, and now only the Yan brown tigers are available. Secondly, Lin Xiaowen's beast control technique has not yet been completed. I am afraid it will take some time to polish. Lin Haoyang's decision was just to inspire Lin Xiaowen. The Azure Cloud sect naturally has the line of the royal beast. Lin Haoyang asked Lin Xiaowen to go to the Azure Cloud sect to find Lin Xuanlin, let her help exchange some royal beast books, so that Lin Xiaowen could cultivate. And Lin Haoyang and his wife rushed to Pingyang City. Ziyan said that Sulinger had already succeeded in Golden Core, and I am afraid that it won't take long to come to Pingyang City. In addition, he had already made an appointment with Tang Yiwen before and asked the Lin family to open a store in Tianhefeng City. Since Tang Yiwen was sincerely invited, Lin Haoyang naturally couldn't refuse. This time she was in Pingyang City and called Lin Xuanjing to take charge of the store issue in Tianhefeng City. After the demonic beasts tied, Lin Xuanjing was not scared. Instead, she worked harder and finally opened the Lin's shop on the other two rogue cultivators' hills, Chaoluo Mountain and Baijuling. With the income from these two shops, the Lin family's income from spirit stones has increased a lot each year. Since Lin Xuanjing has become the chief of the Chamber of Commerce, Lin Haoyang has always been on the front line. Now, Lin Xuanjing can also stand alone. The two arrived in Pingyang City after half a month, but they heard that Sulinger would return from the Chongshan Tower in a month, and Sulinger returned with a very important news. Ziyan didn't know what the news was, but according to Sulinger's attention, I am afraid that the news is top secret. Therefore, Lin Haoyang and his wife were not eager to go to Tianhefeng City, and temporarily settled in Pingyang City. Lin Haoyang lived in the immortal cave where he was back then. The husband and wife did not cultivate, so it is possible to live in this immortal cave. Pingyang City belongs to the Chongshan Tower, and naturally there are many things here that Qingyunzong does not have. Lin Haoyang's current refining technique is trapped in the third-tier top grade, not that Lin Haoyang's talent is insufficient, but that he doesn't have the materials for Lin Haoyang to start. At present, Lin Haoyang has the snake bones and snake skin of the blue-eyed viper. These two things are only used by Lin Haoyang to refine the flying spirit boat, but without spirit stones, it is difficult for a clever woman to cook without rice. Inside Ziyan's purple building, Lin Haoyang and his wife were sitting opposite. Lin, fellow Taoist, I must have something to find with my wife. Ziyan said. Lin Haoyang nodded. He has a good relationship with Ziyan. Even if Ziyan is already the cultivation base on the 8th floor of Golden Core, he still calls Lin Haoyang a fellow Taoist. Ziyan, fellow Taoist, I really have something to ask for. It's been a long time since my refining technique has reached the 3rd level top grade. Because I don't have the 4th level materials to practice, I can't get a breakthrough. I came here today and wanted to buy 2 empty spirit stones so that I could refine a tier 4 low-grade flying boat. First, let me break through the 4th order refining technique, and second, I have wanted a flying boat for a long time. Lin Haoyang said. After hearing Lin Haoyang's words, Ziyan frowned. Empty spirit stones are very precious, fist-sized empty spirit stones. I am afraid that it will need 6,000 spirit stones. But now Lin Haoyang needs 2 more. Actually, I am not afraid that Lin Haoyang can't afford spirit stones, but Pingyang City has no space to reserve spirit stones. Chongshan Tower will naturally have channels to get it, but it took some time. Lin, fellow Taoist, refining tier 4 magical item for the first time, refining the flying boat. Are you not afraid of failure and heavy losses? Ziyan worried. Failure is inevitable, but I have absolute confidence. I am afraid I will be able to enter tier 4 with my current refining method long ago, but there is no suitable material for me to refine it. I have simulated the technique of refining flying boats more than 100 times in my mind. As long as I have time for spirit stones, I am 80% sure. Lin Haoyang said. Seeing that Lin Haoyang was so confident, Ziyan stopped talking too much, and proceeded to mobilize spirit stones from the place of Chongshanlu. Even if the formation is transmitted in Pingyang City, it will probably take more than a month to have results. Lin Haoyang and 2 of them said goodbye to Ziyan and began to move around in Pingyang City. Recounting the past with Chu Mengyao and Lin Xuanjing, soon, 1 month later, Lin Haoyang received Ziyan's sound transmission. After opening it, it was not that the spirit stones had news, but that Sulinger had finally returned from the headquarters of Chongshan Tower. When the old friends reunited, Lin Haoyang naturally wanted to go there. Bai Qingyan had never seen Sulinger, but he still went with Lin Haoyang. In the purple building, Sulinger and Ziyan are sitting opposite Lin Haoyang and his wife. Seeing Bai Qingyan, Sulinger are very curious, but their hearts are a little depressed, and there is nowhere to express emotion. Lin, fellow Taoist, I didn't catch up with the ceremony. This is the Chongshan brew that I brought from the Chongshan Tower. Let me punish myself for 3 cups. Sulinger picked up the exquisite jug on the table and drank 3 consecutive cups. After each cup, you could see Sulinger frowning slightly. Obviously the power of this wine was not weak. Lin Haoyang wanted to stop, but was held back by Bai Qingyan. Lin Haoyang didn't understand Su Linger's thoughts, but how could Bai Qingyan be a woman who didn't understand? Lin Haoyang helped Su Linger a big favor last time, allowing Su Linger to earn enough face in the Chongshan Tower, and at the same time, he obtained the resource tilt of the Chongshan Tower. It can be said that Su Linger can easily golden core so easily, and Lin Haoyang's help is also indispensable. Lin Haoyang earned 4 points for the Chongshan Tower alone, which is equivalent to 40% of the resources. Su Linger and Lin Haoyang have known each other for a long time. If Su Linger didn't feel Lin Haoyang at all, Bai Qingyan didn't believe it. After these 3 cups of wine, Su Linger wanted to numb herself. Lin Haoyang has now formed a Dao companion with Bai Qingyan. She has no chance. So she wanted to get drunk, and she didn't even use spirit stones to relieve her drunkenness. After 3 cups, Su Linger's face turned red and said, "Okay, I have already punished myself for 3 cups, so I think it is a redemption for the sins that were not allowed in the ceremony." With that said, Su Linger poured another glass of wine and said to Bai Qingyan, "Lin fellow Taoist is blessed to be able to form a Tao companion with such a beautiful beauty. I don't know how many lifetimes I have cultivated. Qingyan fellow Taoist, if Haoyang bullies you in the future, you come to me and I and Xian big sis beat him. Come, dry." Quote. Bai Qingyan is not a stingy person. Su Linger is fighting against her, she naturally takes it. Bai Qingyan raised the wine glass in front of her and said, "Su fellow Taoist for saving the country, my husband, I thank you." With that said, a cup of Chongshan wine was consumed. Chongshan wine is a kind of spirit. Bai Qingyan has never drunk much. Naturally, she has great wine power, but she has never used spirit power to reduce wine power. Otherwise, she would really lose. Su Linger was also looking up and drank this glass of Chongshan wine. After 4 cups, Su Linger could not hold it anymore. However, the second daughter was still scorched, and no one would admit defeat. Finally, after a pot of Chongshan wine was drunk, the 2 girls couldn't hold it anymore and lay on the table one after another. Lin Haoyang and Ziyan looked at each other, their eyes were helpless, and finally Ziyan let out a breath and said, "This can be regarded as her hard knot, and I will bring Linger to visit another day." Lin Haoyang nodded, did not say much, and took Bai Qingyan back to Immortal Cave. He still shouldn't participate in women's wars. What he has to do is to protect his own women. 26%. Chapter 153 The Human Race's Counterattack. Lin Haoyang brought Bai Qingyan back to Immortal Cave. The Chongshan wine was very strong, and Su Linger bought it to relieve his sorrows. Bai Qingyan didn't use spirit power to reduce the power of wine, so she was naturally drunk. Looking at the drunk Bai Qingyan, Lin Haoyang showed a smile on her face. In fact, she could stop Bai Qingyan, but she didn't. She knew that Bai Qingyan also had some grievances in her heart, so she might as well take this to get rid of it. As for himself, he actually doesn't care very much. He doesn't have any thoughts about Su Linger, just as a friend, or a little bit more, Su Linger still has a life-saving grace for him. In this way, one night passed, and the sun rose again from the east. Since obtaining the Buddha profound art, he has been cultivating with great concentration. Now his cultivation base has reached the 7th floor of the foundation building. But he felt that it was still a little short of the Buddha profound realm cultivation to the 2nd level. Lin Haoyang felt that this should almost be his cultivation base. I am afraid that only after he cultivated the golden core, the Buddha profound realm would open the 2nd stage. Floor. Lin Haoyang has always been curious about the 2nd level of the Buddha's profound art. He wants to see what kind of power this 2nd level contains. As the sun rose, Bai Qingyan woke up from drunkenness, opened her eyes, and smelled the alcohol on her body. Bai Qingyan shot a spell, blew away the alcohol, changed her clothes again, and walked out of Immortal Cave. When she found Lin Haoyang, Bai Qingyan's face blushed and said, "Why didn't you stop me last night?" Lin Haoyang stretched out his hand to hold Bai Qingyan, and pulled Bai Qingyan into own arms, saying, "That's not my knot, but your knot. If you don't let you get this knot, I'm afraid you will encounter Heart's Demon when you advance to Golden Core in the future." Bai Qingyan buried her head in Lin Haoyang's chest and said, "I will believe you in the future." Lin Haoyang just smiled and touched Bai Qingyan's head. "Ha ha ha, the 2 Lin fellow Taoist couples are in love, I really envy others." At this moment, Ziyan's voice suddenly came over. Bai Qingyan's face flushed, and she hurriedly left Lin Haoyang. At this time, Ziyan and Su Linger fell into Lin Haoyang's Immortal Cave. Su Ling'er also changed into a set of clothes, and there was no alcohol on his body, and it seemed that they had also freshened up. Ziyan made a joke, and then came to the point, saying, I told you before that Ling'er will bring a news when he comes back this time. I didn't mention it last night. I have to tell you this news when I come today. Lin Haoyang cheered up, and he was also very interested in the news that Ziyan had said. At this moment, Su Ling'er stepped forward and said, Before I came, I learned from the senior of the Chongshan Tower that the Zhanmeng had begun to deploy manpower to the wild border. I am afraid that it will not take long before the high ranks of the human race will fight the wild high-rank demonic beasts first. The high-rank demonic beasts have been dragged down, and the war between the Terran and the demonic beasts will probably start soon. Quote. Hearing this news, Lin Haoyang and Bai Qingyan's complexion changed at the same time. As Bai Qingyan said, I'm afraid the wild war will start in no time. According to previous rules, wild wars start once every 5,000 years, advancing 200,000 miles to the wild at a time. In the past 20,000 years, the human race has continued to advance 200,000 miles every 5,000 years despite the untold sufferings. But this time, Lin Haoyang felt that it would be different from the past. This time, the wild demonic beasts, as if planned, started the beast tide first. That animal wave caused a lot of losses to the human races along the route, and it can be said that it should postpone the time of the wild war. But on the human side, the opposite is true. The demonic beasts are not as smart as the humans. If the high-rank demonic beasts are involved, the low-rank demonic beasts do not have the command of the high-rank demonic beasts. On the contrary, it will fall into a disadvantage first. Although this plan is good, it is not a good thing for a small force like Qingyunzong. Since the last demonic beast's tide, Qingyunzong has been preparing for the wasteland season, and the star-bearing grass is also being planted on a large scale, but now the time is short and the time for the star-bearing grass to grow is not long. Even if it is made into a magic talisman, its power is not very strong. Even if it is to make low-level magic talisman, the Azure Cloud sect does not reserve too much. As a result, the Azure Cloud sect might have to change its plan. Originally, the Azure Cloud sect wanted to not plant spiritual rice for the time being, and plant the star-bearing grass first, and then plant the spiritual rice back when the star-bearing grass was satisfied. But in this way, I am afraid that the Azure Cloud sect will not plant spirit power for the time being, and will expand the area of star-bearing grass, because the wasteland reclamation season has been reduced by half. After thinking for a while, Lin Haoyang withdrew his mind and said, As a result, I am afraid that our plan will also be changed. It seems that the Lin family will also start to acquire magical item spirits once. Prepare early. This wasteland reclamation season is probably more exciting than before, Ziyan said. Lin Haoyang and Bai Qingyan nodded and looked at each other. I don't say anything in advance. The empty spirit stones you want me to find already have news. I'm afraid they will be shipped in 3 or 5 days. Lin Haoyang's eyes lit up, and when the spirit stones had news, there was hope for his functioning spirit boat. He thought it was not a day or two for the flying spirit boat. After the four chatted for a while, Ziyan and Su Ling'er left, leaving only Lin Haoyang and Bai Qingyan in Immortal Cave. Haoyang, I'm afraid we have to prepare too, Bai Qingyan said. Lin Haoyang nodded. It seems that this wasteland reclamation season is also an opportunity for them. It seems that Tianhefeng City must go this time. Like Pingyang City, Tianhefeng City also has the support of big forces and is good at trading sect. Chu Mengyao came from wherever he came from. If he can connect with Yuanenjai, Lin's family will have nothing to worry about. It's not that Zhongshan Tower is inferior to Yuanenjai. Some resources can also be exchanged in Yuanenjai, but a large number of low-level magical items and magical items are not available. Otherwise, Qingyunzong wouldn't be so anxious himself. Instead, Chongshan Tower could get high-priced spiritual objects like Kong Spirit Stones. Lin Haoyang was not in a hurry. After waiting for another 4 days in Pingyang City, Ziyan sent a sound transmission note, saying that it was empty. The spirit stones had arrived. After receiving the sound transmission note, Lin Haoyang was overjoyed, and immediately set up a escape with Bai Qingyan to the Zillow. Ziyan had been waiting in the Zillow long ago, but Su Ling'er was not here and didn't know where it was. Ziyan, fellow Taoist. Lin Haoyang bowed to Ziyan, but the excitement in his heart couldn't be concealed. Ziyan could see the excitement in Lin Haoyang's eyes, and he was not hiding it. With a tap of the storage bag, 2 fist-sized transparent ore bodies appeared in Ziyan's hands. These two transparent ore bodies are the empty spirit stones that Lin Haoyang dreams of. Xian dragged his hand and two empty spirit stones floated towards Lin Haoyang. Lin Haoyang was excited and took the two empty spirit stones into his hands. Lin Haoyang has never seen the empty spirit stones, but he knows that it is not the empty spirit stones. Just one less contact, he knows that this is an authentic empty spirit stones. Moreover, the size of the two empty spirit stones was just enough for Lin Haoyang to make a flying spirit boat. After a good touch, the two empty spirit stones were put into the storage bag. Xian, fellow Taoist, how many spirit stones do these two empty spirit stones cost? Lin Haoyang asked. These two empty spirit stones are not small, count your 13,000 spirit stones. Purple Smoke said. Lin Haoyang didn't think much, so he took out 13,000 spirit stones. Last time, Lin Haoyang got 50,000 spirit stones, and these 3,000 spirit stones can still be taken out. Seeing that Lin Haoyang took out more than 10,000 spirit stones so easily, without ordering, he put the spirit stones in the storage bag, and said with some envy. Lin, fellow Taoist, still has a lot of money, and I can't compare with this golden core. Xian, fellow Taoist, joked. Don't you know what I belong to, don't you know? After that, the three of them chatted for a while before Lin Haoyang left. 26%. Chapter 154 in Dengtian Hefeng City. Lin Haoyang now has empty spirit stones in his hands, and he can't help but refining the flying boat. After years of development in Pingyang City, the Earth Fire Room is also very complete, and there is no problem in refining the Tier 4 magical item. After renting a Tier 4 Earth Fire Room, Lin Haoyang began to prepare to refine the flying boat. There is only one such Earth Fire Room in Pingyang City now. This Earth Fire Room is the Deep Earth Fire, which has a higher temperature and can smelt Tier 4 spiritual objects. Therefore, the rent of the Earth Fire Room is also more expensive. The daily rent requires 3 spirit stones, which is 3 times that of the ordinary Earth Fire Room. Therefore, since the Earth Fire Room was built, few people have rented it. The Earth Fire Room in Chongshan Tower was basically thought to be used by its own people after the start of the wasteland reclamation season. Lin Haoyang's lotus position was sitting in the Earth Fire Room. Feeling the high temperature from the refining furnace, Lin Haoyang was a little excited, and took out the snake bones and skins of the 4th level blue-eyed viper. This is the main material for crafting flying boats, and then 2 empty spirit stones. Finally, Lin Haoyang took out the 3rd order high-grade blue-eyed viper snake bones and snake skin that he personally killed. Lin Haoyang intends to use these 2 materials as the sails of the spirit boat. Although the sails are not required to fly the spirit boat, the pair of materials in Lin Haoyang's hands are all from the blue-eyed viper and the output is the same. If the sail is added, it will not affect the structure of the spirit boat. On the contrary, because the sail is added, the speed will get a great ascension. And this was something that Lin Haoyang had already thought of for a long time, and he didn't have too much entanglement. Although it was the first time for Lin Haoyang to refine Tier 4 magical item, his refiner had already reached Tier 4 level, but there was no Tier 4 material to make his breakthrough, just like Lin Xuancheng used to be. After adjusting his breath, Lin Haoyang adjusted his own state to the best. When the temperature of the earth fire furnace reached, Lin Haoyang held his hand and 4 pieces of materials were put into the furnace by him. If you want to refine the flying boat, you must first shape it into the shape of a flying boat. A lot of auxiliary refining materials have to be added to this, and Lin Haoyang has already prepared these things. In order to refine this flying boat, Lin Haoyang spent no less than 20,000 to 30,000 spirit stones, which really cost him his blood. This is also the reason why flying boats are scarce. Not only empty spirit stones are precious, but there are also few materials that can refine flying boats, and there are few people who can afford such a high cost. For an ordinary cultivator, he can fly with a sword himself, and he doesn't need a flying boat at all, and Lin Haoyang is so determined to refine a flying boat because he wants to make more for the family. Sometimes, a flying boat can feel the battle. It took a longer time for Feizhou to refine different ordinary spirit weapons. It was not until more than 2 months later that Lin Haoyang came out of the earth fire room. As soon as Lin Haoyang came out, Bai Qingyan rushed up and asked, "Is it done?" Lin Haoyang smiled, but only raised his hand to pat the storage bag, and a small boat appeared in Lin Haoyang's hands. The small boat is palm-sized, small and chic, and aquamarine. At first glance, it is very cute. Bai Qingyan was already at the cultivation base on the 8th floor of the foundation building. The moment she saw Xiaozhou, she concluded that Lin Haoyang had succeeded. After receiving the flying boat, Bai Qingyan can feel the spirit power fluctuations from the flying boat in her hand, which can only be possessed by the fourth order magical item. At this point, Bai Qingyan finally let go of the worry in her heart. In this way, you not only fulfilled your own wish, but also successfully broke through to the fourth level mixer. It's really a double happiness, Bai Qingyan said. Lin Haoyang's face was also full of joy, and said, "Yeah, this time I can train into this blue-eyed spirit boat, and there are 2 more empty spirit stones found by Xian. These 2 empty spirit stones are larger than I expected, and they played a huge role in expanding the inner space of the spirit boat. Originally, according to my plan, this spirit boat could hold up to 15 people, but now, it should be able to hold 20 people. If the cultivation base is enough, you can have the speed of the golden core early stage cultivator." Quote. Although it was only a difference of 5 people, it made the value of this spirit boat nearly a quarter of it. After the Lingzhou was trained, Xian and Su Linger came over to observe. If there is a chance, the 2 of them also want to refine one. Now the golden core of Pingyang City, only her and Xian, the original Feng Yusho, has been sent to guard the spirit stone's mine. If they can own a flying boat, it will be very beneficial to them. But the refining of the flying boat is not so easy. Lin Haoyang has also searched for several years before collecting enough materials for the flying boat. Lin Haoyang should also set off for Tianhefeng City after the Feizhou is refined. Together with the 2 is Lin Xuanjing. Chu Mengyao continued to sit in Pingyang City. In these years, Chu Mengyao seldom made a pot of Pingyang City, managing the Lin family's industry and cultivating at the same time. His qualifications are average, and his time in the foundation building is short. Until now, he is only on the 4th floor of the foundation building, which is far behind Lin Haoyang. Lin Xuanjing's qualifications are also average, and cultivation base is only on the 4th floor of the foundation building. However, Lin Xuanjing is happy. She is already in the fortune to be able to foundation building. As for the golden core, she does not pursue too much. Something will occur if it belongs to your life, if not, do not push it. Lin Haoyang had just trained as a flying boat, so Lin Haoyang naturally wanted to give it a try. From Pingyang City to Tianhefeng City, Lin Haoyang had always won the flying boat. For the experiment, Lin Haoyang has been advancing at full speed. With Lin Haoyang's current cultivation base, the flying boat can barely reach the speed of the golden core early stage. Bai Qingyan is a little worse, activating at most 7 or 8 points of power, and the speed is faster than the 9 floors of the foundation building. However, Lin Xuanjing had difficulty activating the spirit boat, and forcibly activating the spirit power would quickly be drained of the spirit power. In this way, Lin Haoyang has been urging Lingzhou, and it took half a time to arrive at Tianhefeng City. 100 miles away from Tianhefeng City, Lin Haoyang took the spirit boat so as not to cause others to scowl. The 3 of them raised flying sword and went straight to Tianhefeng City. After the last devil tribulation, Tai Yiman carried out an overhaul to Tianhefeng City, and soon repaired the damaged large array, and even the buildings inside were restored to their original appearance. Yuanenjai planted in Tianhefeng City, and resupplied manpower. Now Yuanenjai is based in Tianhefeng City by a golden core cultivator. Tang Yiwen injured the roots in the last war. Cultivation base barely maintained the golden core level, but Tu Wondor wanted to fight to death. In the end, Tianhefeng City was not reduced to the underworld, and Tang Yiwen was still in charge of Tianhefeng City. With the addition of Yuanenjai, Tianhefeng City's current combat power is no longer as weak as Pingyang City. With 2 golden cores helping each other, it is easier to solve problems. Lin Haoyang didn't say anything, but after helping Bai Qingyan and Lin Xuanjing exchange for 2 identity tokens, he quietly entered the city. Lin Haoyang was shocked when he entered the city. The Tianhefeng City flew but did not decline, but became more prosperous. I am afraid that this place is also inseparable from the deadly battle of Tang Yiwen that year. It has established a reputation for the rogue cultivators of all parties. At a glance, the tallest and most prosperous building in Tianhefeng City is still Yuanenjai. Looking at Yuanenjai, Lin Haoyang was a little worried. He took Chu Mengyao away back then. I wonder if Yuanenjai's golden core would bring up this matter. After all, Chu Mengyao worked directly for the Lin family in Pingyang City, and this matter was definitely not hidden from such forces as Yuanenjai. 26%. Chapter 155. Chu Mengyao reverses the case. However, this thought only existed for a while, and Lin Haoyang quickly recovered. Although Yuanenjai is powerful, he doesn't need to be afraid of the Lin family today. Moreover, Yuan Enjai is unlikely to be against the Lin family just for a cultivator in the coagulation period. You must know that this time Lin Haoyang brought a big business. For businessmen, interest always comes first, and it is precisely because of this that Lin Haoyang can come here with peace of mind. After a casual stroll in Tianhefeng City, he went straight to the direction of the city lord's mansion. However, the three of them were stopped. At the time of the last time, Mu Nianxi, Tang Yuan's eldest disciple, turned to demon cultivator and harmed Tianhefeng City from inside and outside. After that time, if you want to enter the city lord's mansion, unless Tang Yuan gives an order, you must go through some magical questions. Moreover, they have to pay for the money for the soul charm. Lin Haoyang and the three have already been in the foundation building. The soul charms required must also be third order to be useful. Just these 3 soul charms require a lot of money. Spirit stones. Lin Haoyang gave a wry smile. Unexpectedly it would be so difficult to see Tang Yuan again. Asking for the soul charm, Lin Haoyang wouldn't buy it naturally. After taking out a sound transmission note, Lin Haoyang hit the city. Lin Haoyang entered the city lord's mansion. Naturally knowing Tang Yuan's residence, it was not difficult to hit a sound transmission note. The 2 guards at the door saw that Lin Haoyang actually took out the sound transmission talisman, and naturally guessed that Lin Haoyang was not a simple character, but in the past 2 years, relying on the errand of asking the soul talisman, the 2 have privately earned a lot of spirit stones. Tang Yuan was backing up again, so he was so domineering, and the 3 of them had to ask Lin Haoyang to ask their hearts with magic charms. In fact, the 2 of them will tell the truth when they report it, but in order to make some money, Lin Haoyang was offended by the 3 of them. In the city lord's mansion, Tang Yuan, who received the sound transmission note, was pleased on his face, and when he looked at the content, his complexion immediately collapsed, and he immediately picked up Sword Ray and came to the place where Lin Haoyang was. After Lin Haoyang issued the sound transmission note, Tang Yuan appeared in front of Lin Haoyang in less than 20 breaths. Brother Lin is here, why didn't he tell me in advance? How can I make these 2 wastes spoiled? Tang Yuan fell on the ground as soon as he landed. Seeing that Tang Yuan was so polite to Lin Haoyang, the 2 guards naturally knew they had caused a catastrophe and hurriedly begged Lin Haoyang for mercy. Lin Haoyang didn't bother to care about these 2 people, saying, Brother Tang, don't blame these 2 people, check carefully so that you won't be mixed in by demon cultivator. But you 2 must be careful, not everyone is as easy to talk as me. Although he was too lazy to care about these 2 people, Tang Yuan said with a solemn expression on his face. Don't do this guard job with you 2. Whatever you have done, go to the criminal law hall to punish yourself. Don't let you come to both of you again. Although the 2 guards had lost their errands, they didn't lose their lives anyway, and immediately retreated. The 2 stepped back. Tang Yuan laughed aloud. Tianhefeng City can still have today, it's all your credit, Brother Lin. It's a pity that Mu Nianxi's servant was not caught in this battle of slaughter of demons, otherwise he would definitely be smashed into pieces. That day, Mu Nianxi wanted to control Tang Yuan with a heart-biting GU, but fortunately, Lin Haoyang used a 4th-order magic talisman to start Mu Nianxi away, otherwise Tang Yuan had already become Mu Nianxi's puppet. This big feud has become Tang Yuan's hard knot. Without killing Mu Nianxi, Tang Yuan's cultivation base will have no further possibility. Lin Haoyang shook his head and said, Brother Tang is polite, the younger brother was just to protect himself that day. While talking, the 4 entered the city lord's mansion, and it took a long time before Lin Haoyang talked about the purpose of this visit. Brother Tang, the younger brother came this time just to discuss the opening of a store in Tianhefeng City. In addition, I also want to discuss a business with Tongyuan Enjai, and I hope Brother Tang can recommend 1 or 2. Lin Haoyang fell. After listening to Lin Haoyang's words, Tang Yuan frowned, obviously a little surprised. What's the matter with Lin Haoyang looking for Yuan Enjai? There is no problem in opening up shops. There are 3 shops on the west side of Tianhefeng City. They are all of a good size. If you rent, how about a 50% discount? Tang Yuan said. The 3 of them visited Tianhefeng City before looking for Tang Yuan. The street market to the west was indeed good. Lin Xuanjing heard that only 50% of the shop rent, and immediately felt happy, and hurriedly pushed Lin Haoyang, letting her feel that she agreed. Lin Xuanjing is in charge of the Lin family merchants, who is the chief of the Lin family merchants hall. She has more power in business than Lin Haoyang's medicine. Seeing that Lin Haoyang refused to agree for a long time, Lin Xuanjing said anxiously. Tang Senior, let's just say so, and I'll go through the shop handover procedures later. Seeing Lin Xuanjing doing this, Tang Yiwen was taken aback first, then laughed, and said, "This should be the chief of your Lin family's Chamber of Commerce. It really has a lot of courage to experience the industry of your Lin family." In fact, it was not Lin Haoyang's refusal. Although he wanted to open a store in Tianhefeng City, he did not want to owe Tang Yiwen's favor. The Lin family still paid 50% of the rent. Now that Lin Xuanjing had agreed, he didn't need to touch the faces of Lin Xuanjing and Tang Yiwen. As for the second thing you said, it is not a problem, but you seem to have taken a person from Tianhefeng City, and that person seems to have escaped after Yuananjai was attacked. Tang Yiwen said. Lin Haoyang didn't conceal it either, and told Tang Yiwen the original one. Originally, Tianhefeng City was attacked, and 2 foundation building cultivators died and escaped. However, his third one was guarding Yuananjai. Afterwards, Yuananjai would definitely be rewarded. However, because the situation was too pessimistic at the time, even Tang Yiwen was seriously injured. At this time, Chu Mengyao divided all the remaining belongings of Yuananjai, not even a camel beast. In this way, Chu Mengyao turned from a hero to a traitor. Judging from the members of the Lin family, Yuan Enjai did not trouble Chu Mengyao, and it was considered an extra-legal favor. In fact, Tang Yiwen is helping, otherwise Yuan Enjai's golden core cultivator would have killed the city of Pingyang long ago and brought the traitor Chu Mengyao to justice. Anyway, this time I'm here to resolve this matter, Lin Haoyang said firmly. In fact, Chu Mengyao never left Pingyang City, and was worried about Yuan Enjai's pursuit. She was in Pingyang City, Xian would naturally miss the Lin family and keep it. But as long as she leaves Pingyang City, Yuan Enjai naturally has 10,000 ways to kill her. Seeing Lin Haoyang's determination, Tang Yiwen sighed and said, "Okay, let's take a rest for a while. Tomorrow I will take you to see Yuan Enjai's golden core cultivator, Yang Tianyu." After that, Tang Yiwen told Lin Haoyang 3 people about Yang Tianyu, knowing oneself and the enemy before he can be sure. In the evening, Tang Yiwen put on a banquet to entertain Lin Haoyang. It was not until midnight that Lin Haoyang was able to get away and return to his residence. Back to her residence, Bai Qingyan asked, "You can be sure, according to Tang Yiwen's words, it's not easy to deal with God's blessing." Lin Haoyang frowned slightly and said, "I'm absolutely not sure, but the 4 of us bought so many resources, I don't believe that he can remain unmoved." 26%. Chapter 156. Game of Interests. On the second day, Lin Haoyang and his wife followed Tang Yiwen to the branch of Yuan Enjai, while Lin Xuanjing started the handover of the shop and was very busy. Following Tang Yiwen, the 3 people soon came to Yuan Enjai's shop, compared to Lin Haoyang's previous visit. The decoration of Yuan Enjai was more luxurious this time, but Lin Haoyang faintly felt a power hidden in this building. It should be that this building was carved with rune formation. If the last thing happened again, I am afraid that even the attacker would not even be able to penetrate the gate of Yuan Enjai. Bai Qingyan has never been to Yuan Enjai, but she is still calm. In recent years, she has not seen some important sites of Qingyunzong, and she is no stranger to this kind of architecture. But she was still surprised by Yuan Enjai's wealth. Seeing Tang Yiwen's arrival, Yuan Enjai's guards greeted them graciously while delivering news to the building. As soon as Lin Haoyang and the 3 walked to the door, an elegant middle-aged person greeted them. "And the person here is the manager of Yuan Enjai, Golden Core Cultivator Yang Tianyu. Brother Tang is so elegant today, and he is willing to come to my little place. Is there anything good today?" While talking, Yang Tianyu looked at Lin Haoyang and his wife, thinking that they were guests brought by Tang Yiwen. Tang Yiwen hurriedly waved, saying, "It's not me talking about business this time, your guest, these 2 today, don't Brother Yang let us go in and sit down." A bright light flashed in Yang Tianyu's eyes, thinking that Tang Yiwen had specifically brought him business, and immediately led the 3 of them into Yuan Enjai. In a wing room, 4 people were sitting in lotus position. Yang Tianyu was not stingy, they were served with good spirit tea and delicious spirit fruits. Several people were polite, and Tang Yiwen said, "Brother Yang, these 2 are cultivators from the Lin family of Qingyunzong, this time." Before Tang Yiwen finished speaking, Yang Tianyu suddenly changed his complexion and shouted, "What, Lin family cultivator, you 2 are so courageous, you still dare to come to the realm of my Yuan Enjai, you are really looking for death." Lin Haoyang's complexion changed. He didn't expect Yang Tianyu to be kind and disgusting. He said that everything was so beautiful that Yang Tianyu was just trying to take it down. Brother Yang, we know that you have had a festival, but no one is to blame for what happened that day. Tang Yiwen persuaded from the side. Hearing that Tang Yiwen was so biased towards Lin Haoyang, my heart became even more angry. The spiritual qi scattered all over his body, and the golden core was overwhelmed, and he came straight to Lin Haoyang. Seeing this, Lin Haoyang and his wife were also angry in their hearts, even if they were wrong, but no matter what they were, they would use force to overwhelm others, and they would never win. Lin Haoyang just turned his hand. A black spirit power wrapped the two of them. Surrounded by this layer of spirit power, no matter how Yang Tianyu urged the spirit power, it was of no avail, and Lin Haoyang could not be hurt at all. Yang Senior, if you are really such a blindfolded person, take me Lin Haoyang from the future today. Lin Haoyang yelled softly. Originally, Yang Tianyu was surprised that a foundation building in Lin Haoyang was able to block his spirit power coercion. He then heard Lin Haoyang's name and immediately frowned. On the surface of the evil in Tianhefeng City, Tang Yiwen's defense did not allow Demon Cultivator to succeed, but as long as you are well informed, the evil is actually the credit of a foundation building cultivator. As for the foundation building cultivator, sitting in front of him today, how could he not be shocked? It is also difficult for Tang Yiwen to know the festival of the two sides, and dare to bring Lin Haoyang here. More than 10 years ago, people were not afraid of the power of Demon Cultivator, and Yang Tianyu was not at the Golden Core early stage, so it's no wonder that he could still remain motionless under his pressure. Brother Tang, why didn't you say it earlier? This Lin fellow Taoist is Lin Haoyang of the year. Yang Tianyu smiled bitterly. You didn't give me a chance. As soon as I spoke, you were impatient and angry. Who persuaded you to stay? Tang Yiwen said. Yang Tianyu still wants to explain, but he also knows his own temperament, as Tang Yiwen said. Why? Because I am Lin Haoyang, Senior must be polite to me. If someone from my Lin family is here today, he must swallow his voice. Lin Haoyang said angrily. Yang Tianyu smiled bitterly, and secretly said in his heart that Lin Haoyang was really difficult. He was not worried about Lin Haoyang's cultivation base, but the magic talisman in Lin Haoyang's hand. Even if he took the Tianlei talisman of the middle rank of Tier 4, it would still be seriously injured if he didn't die. Seeing the situation in a moment of embarrassment, Tang Yiwen bluntly said. Today, Haoyang came here for two purposes. One is to solve Chu Mengyao's problem, and the other is to come and discuss a big business with Yu Yuananjai. After listening, Yang Tianyu frowned slightly. Chu Mengyao was related to Yuananjai's face. If Chu Mengyao were to remain anonymous, Yuananjai would naturally not bother her, but she didn't. She would live in Pingyang City. It's very good. In a sense, this is the face of Daewon Enjai. In fact, she can't be blamed for Mengyao. At that time, the two foundation building cultivators of Yuananjai were missing. Mengyao desperately carried Yuananjai's people and kept the foundation of Yuananjai. But the overall situation in Tianhefeng City at that time was not optimistic, and Tang Yiwen also fell into a disadvantage, and I am afraid that he would also be killed by Demon Cultivator. In such a situation, Mengyao ordered everyone to divide their property and flee in all directions. Later, when I met me, I cherished my talents and brought him back to Pingyang City to help my Lin family. Quote. Lin Haoyang slowly explained what happened back then. 9 points are true and 1 point is false. Even if Yang Tianyu is scheming, he can't find the flaws. After listening, Yang Tianyu fell into silence. If it was as Lin Haoyang said, it would be hard to convict him. Brother Yang, Haoyang came to you today, just to clarify the reasons, so as not to misunderstand, and Haoyang has a big deal to do with you. Tang Yiwen said again. Yes, this time from Enjai, my Lin family still wants to buy a batch of supplies. With that said, Lin Haoyang threw a list to Yang Tianyu. Seeing the items on this list, with Yang Tianyu calm, he couldn't help shaking, and said. This is worth 80,000 spirit stones. Lin fellow Taoist is not kidding. Lin Haoyang didn't move on his face, saying. Do you think I was joking with you when I came all the way? In fact, it's not that Yang Tianyu was so surprised, it was that Lin Haoyang's list was too valuable. This is a resource worth 80,000 spirit stones. This time, the business has caught up with Yuananjai's income for 2 to 3 years in Tianhefeng City. The materials of these 80,000 spirit stones include a series of consumable items such as pyroblast, one-time magic talisman, medicine pill, and formation. At the beginning of the wasteland reclamation season, the consumption of these things is bound to be massive, and the Lin family's current reserves are definitely not enough, so they must reserve more. After these years of spiritual rice trade, the Lin family has saved a lot of spirit stones, enough to buy these resources. Yang Tianyu was fighting with Diva in his heart. Although Lin Haoyang revealed the reason for Chu Mengyao's departure, it still made him very difficult. If it really doesn't work, I'll find Chongshan Tower for this business, and Mengyao will never leave Pingyang City forever. Said that Lin Haoyang was about to pull Bai Qingyan away, but as soon as he walked to the door, he heard a sigh from Yang Tianyu and said, "It's okay to let Chu Mengyao go, but one condition must be promised." 26%. Chapter 157. Say, Lin Haoyang did not hesitate at all. Chu Mengyao has managed the shops in Pingyang City in an orderly manner over the years and passed on her lifelong business experience to Lin Xuanjing. It can be said that Chu Mengyao can be regarded as Lin Xuanjing's half-master, and the Lin family has gratitude and revenge. Now that he has the opportunity to help Chu Mengyao resolve his hatred, Lin Haoyang will naturally not shirk it. Yang Tianyu was silent for a while and said, "Chu Mengyao defected to Yuan and Jai. Although he has a relationship, the facts cannot be changed. Now he is asked to declare to the world what happened that day. That is to say, I have no intention of defecting, so I naturally want to return to Yuan and Jai to continue his post." Quote. After Yang Tianyu finished speaking, he looked at Lin Haoyang without a doubt. Lin Haoyang was also taken aback. He didn't expect Yang Tianyu to make such a condition. It has been many years since Chu Mengyao left Yuanenjai, and now it is unrealistic to want him to return to Yuanenjai. Moreover, if Chu Mengyao is allowed to return to Yuanenjai, the interests of the Lin family in Pingyang City will also be damaged. Without Chu Mengyao sitting in Pingyang City, I am afraid that Lin Xuanjing would be confined to Pingyang City, and the Lin family's desire to broaden the scope of trade would have to fail. The loss to the Lin family was too great, and Lin Haoyang hesitated. Lin, fellow Taoist, don't be so embarrassed. To let Chu Mengyao return to Yuanenjai is not to let him leave Pingyang City, but to let Chu Mengyao open a Yuanenjai branch in Pingyang City and let her take care of her duties. Yang Tianyu said again. As soon as these words came out, Lin Haoyang suddenly realized that Yang Tianyu had made such a calculation. Although Yuan and Jai is strong, with a dozen or so nascent soul elders, he has never been in charge of the cultivator. Now that the wasteland reclamation season has started ahead of schedule, Yuanenjai has naturally received news that Yuanenjai wants to gain more benefits during the wasteland reclamation season. It is necessary to get close to the giant Chongshan Tower, and Chu Mengyao is a good entry point. I am afraid that if Lin Haoyang does not come to Yang Tianyu this time, the people of Yuanenjai will also try to get close to Chu Mengyao and let her agree to this condition. A wry smile appeared on Lin Haoyang's face. It seemed that all of this was Yang Tianyu's plan, and even Tang Yiwen didn't see the slightest. Ha ha ha, how about, fellow Taoist Lin? Yang Tianyu asked. It must be not a simple character that can be ranked here by Yuan Enjai, this time it is indeed Lin Haoyang's carelessness. But there was no loss. As long as Chu Mengyao stayed in Pingyang City, her heart would definitely be more inclined to the Lin family. And Yuan Enjai naturally knows this. The Yuanenjai opened by Chu Mengyao is just a cover, and her real role is to connect with Chongshan Tower. In this way, the matter of Chu Mengyao basically came to an end. Lin Haoyang and Yang Tianyu discussed the business of those 80,000 spirit stones in detail before they left. Lin Haoyang's demand was too great, and Yuanenjai in Tianhefeng didn't have so many goods for a while, and needed to be transferred from other places. Even if Lin Haoyang was worth a lot of money, he couldn't come up with 80,000 spirit stones at once. Since he was talking about business, he would naturally pay for the goods. 5 days later, Lin Xuanjing managed the 3 shops properly, only to send someone to come. So Lin Haoyang and the 3 returned to Lin's house first, and then brought some family cultivator over, while Lin Xuanjing stayed here for the time being. Lin Haoyang said goodbye to Tang Yiwen and drove the flying boat straight to Pingyang City. After more than 20 days, Lin Haoyang and his wife returned to Pingyang City, found Chu Mengyao, and told Chu Mengyao what Yang Tianyu had said. Really, Yuan Enjai's manager really said that, the formation will no longer pursue my defection. Chu Mengyao said with excitement. Bai Qingyan hurriedly stepped forward to hold Chu Mengyao, calmed her down, and said, "How could we lie to you? But they want you to be the curator of Pingyang City. I'm afraid they want you to get on the chariot of Chongshan Tower. For the foundation building, Chu Mengyao divided the savings of Yuan Enjai in Tianhefang City cleanly, although he succeeded in the foundation building with the help of Lin Haoyang. But these years have been very cautious, not daring to take a half step out of Pingyang City, usually need to go out for business. She pushed it to Lin Xuanjing, just because she was afraid that Yuan Enjai would clean the door. After receiving the news from Yuan Enjai, Dao Heart became accessible, and the cultivation base, which had changed over the years, fluctuated. Over the years, Chu Mengyao's cultivation base has been trapped on the 4th floor of the foundation building without making any progress. Now that the news is heard, the cultivation base has also begun to loosen, and it is possible to go further. After a while, Chu Mengyao came back to his senses, and said with a firm expression, "Lin, fellow Taoist, although Yuan Enjai wants me to go back, Mengyao will never forget the great favor of the Lin family. I will still take care of the Lin family's shop in Pingyang City." "What's the matter with the Lin family? Just order it." Hearing what Chu Mengyao said, Lin Haoyang nodded in relief. If Chu Mengyao learned about Yuan Enjai's attitude again, he would no longer pay attention to the Lin family. Lin Haoyang would regret that he had seen the wrong person. After the Chu Mengyao incident was resolved, Lin Haoyang went back to the Lin family to discuss the purchase of resources, while Bai Qingyan stayed in Pingyang City to assist Chu Mengyao. Yang Tianyu's words still need Bai Qingyan to pass to Ziyan and Suling otherwise Chu Mengyao will not be enough to convince them. Soon, Yang Tianyu sent a team of people. Although the Yuan Enjai building in Pingyang City was only on the surface, it still needed a bright face. This funding naturally needs Yuan Enjai to bear, and the people who are sent are naturally at the mercy of Chu Mengyao. As soon as he returned to Lin's house, Lin Haoyang heard the good news that the Azure Cloud sect recently mined a purple cloud crystal, and the foundation building cultivator of the Azure Cloud sect was jealous. But Zuo Qianji had already ordered that this purple cloud crystal belong to Bai Zonkang. In order not to change anything, Lin Qianlong had rushed to Qingyunzong with Bai Zonkang, preparing to borrow the purple cloud crystal golden core. It has been 6 or 7 years since Bai Zonkang cultivated into the 9th floor of the foundation building. The cultivation base has long been inaccessible. In addition, Bai Zonkang itself is the second spiritual roots cultivator, and his aptitude is not weak. This closed-door training is already 70% sure. In order to make Bai Zonkang a smooth golden core, Lin Qianlong also took out a top-grade spirit stones, which Lin Haoyang brought back from the Chongshan Tower. There are 5 in total, and Lin Haoyang exchanged 3 of them with the Lin family mansion treasury, and this was one of the 3. With top-grade spirit stones supplementing the spirit stones, the chance of the white-slashing golden core has increased by 10%, and the nearly 80% chance of the golden core has brought the white-slashing golden core to its peak. Although Lin Qianlong is not in the clan, Lin Xuanyu, the small abacus of the clan, is in the clan. Lin Qianlong is absent, and he is in charge of all matters in the clan. In recent years, the Lin family has hired a large number of rogue cultivators to help take care of family affairs. The foundation building cultivator of the Lin family only takes care of the most important duties. In this way, it can not only do well in family affairs. These rogue cultivators can also be firmly trapped in the Lin family's chariot. The Lin family gives excellent treatment, and these rogue cultivators can also exchange resources at the Lin family. However, the core resources cannot be exchanged unless they form a Dao companion with the cultivator of the Lin family. In this way, these rogue cultivators are completely integrated into the Lin family and spend 3 leaves for the Lin family. Since integrating into rogue cultivators, the number of Lin surnamed people has increased sharply, and it has been approaching 400 in recent years. Lin's family tree has already been ranked in the Li character generation, and without realizing it, Lin Haoyang has also become the elder of the family. 26%. Chapter 158 The Elder Society. Lin Haoyang sighed. Although he has done a lot for the family over the years, he has not cared enough for the descendants of the family. Lin Haoyang, a cultivator of the Li family, didn't know him. Some people he knew well at the time had not been seen for many years. After these things came to an end, Lin Haoyang decided to stay with the younger generations of the Yaduo family and teach them how to practice. Because Lin Qianlong was not in the clan and the number of 80,000 spirit stones was too large, Lin Xuanyu immediately called the elder meeting of the clan. Generally speaking, the family's elder meeting is hosted by Lin Qianlong, but Lin Qianlong is not there, and Lin Haoyang is the same. Almost all important matters of the Lin family are decided by the elder council, and Lin Qianlong can't do it arbitrarily. As the news spread, the people of the Lin family who had the right to participate in Elder also gathered in Lin Haoyang's bamboo building. The masters and deputy masters of the 8 halls are all eligible to participate in the Elder meeting. In addition, cultivators whose cultivation base reaches the 9th level cultivator can also participate in the Elder meeting. Except for those who perform tasks outside, there are a total of 30 cultivators gathered in Lin Haoyang's bamboo building. In recent years, the cultivation resources of the Lin family have skyrocketed, and the number of cultivators that can cultivate to the 9th level of the veins has also increased a lot. To start the Elder meeting, there is a good condition, that is, more than half of the 8 hall masters must come for the Elder meeting to be effective, and this time there are 5 people from the 8 halls, which are already considered to be the majority, and the Elder meeting can be opened. Lin Haoyang sat in the main seat. Looking at the many faces present, Lin Haoyang was full of emotion for a while. Lin Qianlong wanted to give him the position of patriarch more than once, but Lin Haoyang refused. For one thing, it was too cumbersome for the patriarch to manage the big and small things in the family, and Lin Haoyang was not too tired of these things. Secondly, Lin Qianlong served as the patriarch of the clan for many years, and he had already developed feelings. Lin Haoyang did not want to let Lin Qianlong step down, but it was also a kind of respect for him. Well, I think everyone already knows what is going to be called today. The wasteland reclamation season is just around the corner, and the Lin family must be ready. The Lin family can have today. It is inseparable from the hard work of everyone here. Such a large expenditure of spirit stones, we must discuss with everyone here. The patriarch is not there, so I have to convene an elder meeting to decide the matter. Quote. Lin Haoyang was polite, and it was regarded as the prelude to the elder meeting. Some of the tribesmen who had just formed the 9th layer of condensed veins under the ground, seeing Lin Haoyang so kind, naturally no longer nervous. In the Lin family, Lin Haoyang's fierce reputation has surpassed Lin Ganlong, and Lin Ganlong's exclusive 3 demonic beasts' fierceness is still not overwhelming Lin Haoyang's smashing of Ma Fengyu, the golden core. But is it a coincidence that Lin Haoyang's image among the Lin family's juniors is relatively harsh, and Lin Haoyang has been traveling abroad for many years, and he spends less time in the clan than Lin Ganlong? When Lin Haoyang showed up in the Lin family last time, it was the marriage ceremony, but the last time the marriage ceremony came to congratulate 3 golden cores. Lin Haoyang's image among the younger generation is even more mysterious. Maybe Lin Haoyang didn't know how curious the Lin family juniors were for him. Haoyang, although I know that these 80,000 spirit stones are used to purchase resources, is it a bit early? It may take more than 10 years before the wasteland reclamation season starts. With this batch of spirit stones at the bottom, there are many other things the family can do. Once 80,000 spirit stones are taken away, I'm afraid something will happen at home. I have to put it aside. Lin Xuanlu said. Lin Xuanlu is the head of the Lin family Ling Medicine Hall and is in charge of the Lin family's forest planting. Every year, the Lin family will open up 2 acres of new medicinal fields on Baixiang Mountain to plant elixir. After so many years, the Lin family's medicinal fields have no less than 50 acres. These medicinal fields basically contain some second-order elixir, and there are very few third-order elixir. There are about 10 plants planted. The Tier 4 spirit medicines have a long growth year, and they can be hundreds of years old. Most of these Tier 4 spirit medicines were planted by the ancestors of the Lin family. In recent years, Zan Lan has only transplanted a few plants from outside. In order to plant the elixir, Lin Xuanlu worked hard, and always wanted the family to approve a copy of spirit stones to improve the quality of the elixir garden and plant some high-quality elixir. If Lin Haoyang took away 80,000 spirit stones at once, his plan would undoubtedly be shelved, so he only had a question. Haoyang, now Sheniaitang has begun to take shape. As long as we spend more time, we can make these things ourselves. Remove the raw materials, and save a lot of spirit stones. Lin Xuancheng said. Indeed, if enough time were spent in the Lin family, Lin Haoyang would now become a Tier 4 crafting master, and within 10 years, this batch of resources could be created, which would indeed save a lot of money. However, the Lin family does not have so much time now, and the Wild War is about to start. If the Lin family is not ready at this time, I am afraid it will be smashed. The price paid by then may be much greater than these tens of thousands of spirit stones. As everyone knows, although Lin Xuancheng is Lin Haoyang's grandfather, even Lin Haoyang questioned Lin Haoyang's decision. For a while, everyone talked about it and felt that Lin Haoyang was a bit biased. Seeing everyone talking about it, if it hadn't been for the actions of Jianmeng, Lin Haoyang would not have done so. Raised his hand and pressed it, suppressing the crowd's comments, saying, "You have doubts. I naturally understand that if it weren't for this time to go to Pingyang City and get a message from the Chongshan Tower, I would not make such a decision." Everyone frowned. Obviously they didn't expect that this matter had something to do with Chongshan Tower. "Haoyang, what news is it that made you scare such a decision?" Lin Xuanyu asked. Lin Haoyang didn't hide it, and told everyone what Su Linger had said that day. As soon as this news came out, those attending the elder meeting were all surprised. The actions of the Sword League were too great. If the human race high-rank cultivator took the lead in attacking the wilderness, this means that wasteland reclamation will start ahead of schedule, and the time left for the Lin family may have been more than 10 years. Without enough time, it is impossible for the Lin family to produce enough resources, and because the wasteland reclamation season starts ahead of schedule, there are still some preparations to start. Haoyang, can you be sure of this news? If this matter is as you said, I am afraid that these 80,000 spirit stones will really be taken out. Lin Xuanyu said. Lin Haoyang nodded solemnly. Such an important matter could not allow him to lie. Seeing Lin Haoyang nodded and admitted, Lin Xuanyu took a deep breath to ease the shock in his heart. Lin Xuanlu, who had spoken earlier, had nothing to say. If he jumped out to say something against it at this time, not only would it not be effective at all, but he would be despised by everyone. After a while, everyone was relieved from shock, and Lin Xuanyu spoke and started voting. More than 30 people completed the voting in half a time, and everyone supported the proposal of 80,000 spirit stones to purchase resources. And as everyone was there, some plans were started in advance. For example, the configuration and training of Wujin armor, the training of beasts, the combination of wars, and a series of trivial matters. Make Lin Haoyang a headache. 27%. Chapter 159 White slashing the Kang Kang Golden Core. But fortunately 3 hours later, this fierce elder meeting finally ended. After a meeting, Lin Haoyang seemed to be experiencing a big battle, and his mind was exhausted. As a result of the meeting, a copy should be given to Lin Qianlong. If Lin Qianlong feels that there is no major problem, the Lin family will begin to prepare nervously. At this time, even Lin Haoyang can't be idle. He wants to make more Tier 4 one-time magical items. The one-time magical item is not as powerful as the magical talisman. The highest-ranked magical talisman of the Lin family is Lin Qianlong. The power of the third-order magic talisman and the fourth-order magic talisman is like a moat. It is the most difficult for the magician to transition from third order to fourth level, and consumes the most resources. After all, a Tier 4 magic talisman can often turn the tide of a battle, and Lin Haoyang relied on a Tier 4 magic talisman to turn the danger into danger many times. Lin Qianlong has also obtained a few 4th-level demonic beast skins from various channels, 4th-level demonic beast's blood essence, but they all ended in failure. It is obviously not so easy to portray 4th-level magic charms. Just like Qingyunzong, there are only 2 4th-level magic masters, and one has just been promoted these years. The Azure Cloud sect was able to cultivate so many Tier 4 spirit talismans, but it still relied on the large amount of Tier 4 demonic beast skins stored in the sect. Since Lin Haoyang has become a Tier 4 refiner, he can naturally refine Tier 4 one-time magical item. The flame bombs that have appeared in the past are actually just a third-order one-time magical item. In the magical solution, there is a 4-perfect mother-child soul chaser, which is about 70% to 80% of the golden core early stage power. But this kind of magical item has an advantage, that is, it has low requirements for display. The general 4th-order lower-grade magical item can only be displayed by the late-stage cultivator in the foundation building, but for the mother-child soul chaser, as long as the cultivator injects the soul into the sub-thunder, it can explode the mother-child twin thunder at the same time. It is a pity that Lin Haoyang has been searching for a long time and has not seen the main material for refining the mother-child soul-chasing thunder fire marble mother. It seems that he has only turned to Chongshan Tower and Yuananjai for help. The Lin family had results here, and without delay, they hurriedly selected personnel to prepare to go to Tianhefeng City. At the same time, a group of people will be stationed at the shops in Tianhefeng City. In addition to Lin Xuanjing, at least 6 people will be stationed at the 3 shops. However, Lin Haoyang's flying boat can only be loaded with 25 people, except for Lin Haoyang, only 18 people can be selected. The goods of 80,000 spirit stones, of course, should not be underestimated. Lin Xuanjia, Lin Xuanyu, and Lin Xuanlu plus 15 condensed veins late-stage cultivator, so it is considered to be the best. Even if the golden core cultivator wants to hit their attention, they have to weigh it. This time, Lin Haoyang didn't go to Pingyang City, but rushed directly to Tianhefeng City. Nearly 2 months had passed since Lin Haoyang came. At the speed of Yuanenjai, natural preparations were almost done. When Lin Haoyang rushed to Tianhefeng City, Yuanenjai was ready, and Lin Xuanyu followed Lin Haoyang's list and delivered it little by little. At the same time, he bought some resources that Lin Haoyang hadn't thought of, and they also had them in Yuanenjai. In total, they spent almost 90,000 spirit stones, and almost made Yang Tianyu's mouth crooked. Lin Haoyang and the others did not come empty-handed. Most people's storage bags were filled with resources and specialty products. After the delivery was completed, the storage bags were emptied and Lin Xuanjing delivered the first batch of goods. In this way, the Lin store in Tianhefeng City can be regarded as opening normally. The shop in Tianhefeng City has just started, and it will take Lin Xuanjing to sit here for a while. Only after the shop is formalized and the people sent by the Lin family can cope with the overall situation, Lin Xuanjing can withdraw and return. With so many goods, Lin Haoyang would naturally not stay too much. After picking up Bai Qingyan in Pingyang City, he rushed to Lin's house. After going there, everyone in the Lin family only spent more than a month. If there is no weekly, I am afraid it will take more than half a year. With such a large amount of supplies, the Lin family must do their best to escort them. The pulse cultivator can't defend the sword, so the natural speed is greatly reduced, and there is also the risk of being robbed. Everyone in the Lin family sat on the flying boat and was very happy. They thought that this trip to Tianhefeng City would be a drudgery, but they didn't expect it to be a big sight. I'm afraid they will be proud of this matter for a long time in the future. Soon it was those cultivators, Lin Xuanjia, Lin Xuanyu, and Lin Xuanlu were all jealous, but when Lin Haoyang talked about the cost of building this spirit boat, they were all secretly speechless. I'm afraid they will never have this in their lives. Ling Zhou is out. After sending the Lin family and the materials of the 80,000 spirit stones to the Lin family and placing the skill treasury, Lin Haoyang once again drove the flying boat and headed straight to the Azure Cloud sect. It has been almost half a year for Bai Zonkang and Lin Qianlong to travel to the Azure Cloud sect. Calculating the time, Bai Zonkang is about to reach the most critical juncture of Golden Core, and the two of them naturally want to visit. Bai Qingyan was in Pingyang City, and she didn't know that Bai Zonkang had already closed door training breakthrough, and was suddenly called by Lin Haoyang. It was a bit abrupt, but more worried. Along the way, Bai Qingyan was worried. Although Golden Core is not as dangerous as the foundation building, it is several times more difficult than the foundation building. It only takes a month to complete the foundation building, while the Golden Core takes half a year. However, it takes 1 year and 2 years to give birth to a baby. As for the higher and deeper transformation of God, everyone does not know what to experience. The transformation of gods is so wonderful that few cultivators will record them. Therefore, the transformation of gods has always been mysterious and rare. This is also the reason why the 5th rank power and the 6th rank power are so far apart. When Lin Haoyang was about 100 miles away from the Azure Cloud sect, he took the flying boat. As the saying goes, the wealth is not exposed. Lin Haoyang doesn't like showing off. 100 miles away, at the speed of Lin Haoyang and Bai Qingyan, it only took half an hour to arrive. Bai Zonkang's presence in the Golden Core of the Azure Cloud sect is naturally a major event. Just a little bit of inquiries, and you know where Bai Zonkang's closed door training is. Lin Haoyang and his wife rushed to them in a hurry. When Lin Haoyang arrived, there were not many outsiders who saw Bai Zonkang's closed door training. Except for Lin Qianlong and Lin Xuanlin, Zhou Zunyuan was also here. Bai Qingyan was worried about Bai Zonkang's situation, and hurried to ask Lin Xuanlin about the situation, while Lin Haoyang came to the side of Lin Qianlong and Zhou Zunyuan and said, "Qingyan is worried about her father, please forgive Zhou Elder." Zhou Zunyuan waved his hand, smiled, and said, "Qingyun grew up as I watched, so naturally I don't need to be so polite. Bai fellow Taoist closed door training has been half a year, and now Qi has almost finished shrinking, and it's a critical moment to agglutinate gold core. From the changes in the surrounding spirit power, the white fellow Taoist golden core is very smooth, success or failure, in these 2 days." Quote. After hearing what Zhou Zunyuan said, Lin Haoyang and Bai Qingyan were relieved. 2 days later, Bai Zonkang's closed door training was full of wind and clouds, and the momentum was huge. Fortunately, Qing Yunfeng is a fifth-order spiritual vein. Even if Bai Zonkang absorbs spirit power, it only makes it a little thinner. This is the first time that Lin Haoyang has seen a person. Golden Core is also surprised. This observation has paved the way for Golden Core in the future. This vision lasted for 3 days, and there was a burst of golden light and a burst of Tier 4 Wia from the immortal cave waiting to be cut. Lin Qianlong and Zhou Zunyuan smiled on their faces and congratulated the immortal cave. Congratulations fellow Taoist Bai, and congratulate Gold Core. 27%. Chapter 160. Fire Marble Mother. With the congratulations of the two, everyone knew that Bai Zonkang must have succeeded Golden Core, and Lin Haoyang and others were also ecstatic. But the happiest, I'm afraid Bai Qingyan, Bai Zhangkang succeeded in Golden Core, which means that her longevity has greatly increased, and the time she can spend with her has also been greatly extended. After waiting for another half a month, the fluctuations in Immortal Cave gradually dissipated, and Bai Zonkang finally consolidated the cultivation base and walked out of Immortal Cave. Bai Zonkang Golden Core came out. Qingyunzong is not only Zhou Zunyuan, Song Ziwen, Hu Weiwei and other Golden Core cultivators stationed in sect came to celebrate. Once entering the Golden Core, it means that Bai Zonkang is already their comrade. Now that the Azure Cloud sect Golden Core is scarce, it is natural to unite every Golden Core cultivator. To these Qingyunzong Golden Core who came to congratulate, Bai Zonkang responded one by one, and then he got out and came to Lin Haoyang and the others. Father. As soon as Bai Zonkang came over, Bai Qingyan ran over and hugged her. These days, despite the explanations and enlightenment of Lin Qianlong and others, Bai Qingyan was still worried. Until now, Bai Zonkang left the pass, Bai Qingyan was completely relieved. Touching Bai Qingyan's head, Bai Zonkang is an old woman, and she loves Bai Qingyan so much that she can't wait to hold it in her hand at all times. Okay, isn't it okay, father? So many people are watching, aren't they ashamed? Bai Zonkang smiled. Bai Qingyan's face blushed. She flashed behind Lin Xuanlin and hit her. Lin Xuanlin smiled and said, "Two elders, let's take a rest at Zufeng Mountain first, and make plans." Lin Qianlong and the others nodded and followed Lin Xuanlin's sword at Zufeng Mountain. In recent years, Lin Xuanlin has finally become a third-tier spiritual planter, planting a large number of precious elixir on Zufeng Mountain, so that the spiritual qi of Zufeng Mountain has a fragrance of medicine, which is very important for the cultivation of cultivator. There are benefits. Lin Haoyang and others settled in Zufeng Mountain temporarily. Lin Haoyang also told Lin Ganlong about the affairs of the clan. As for the decision of the Elder Council at that time, the clan had sent someone to send it to Lin Ganlong, but for some things, Lin Haoyang had to talk about it himself. In the Azure Cloud sect, Lin Qianlong had already heard about the big moves of the Sword League, and the Azure Cloud sect was also making intense preparations for battle. It seems that this wild war really won't last long. On the second day, Lin Qianlong and Bai Zonkang returned to the Bai family and the Lin family to continue to support the preparations for the war, while Lin Haoyang stayed in the Blue Cloud sect, looking for news about the Flaming Mother. The three of Lin Haoyang found Zhou Zunyuan, wanting to inquire about the Flaming Mother from him. Although Qingyan sect is a 5th rank power, there is no flaming mica in the sect, which has a relatively small effect. It would be difficult for Lin Haoyang to play the role of this kind of magical weapon if it were not for Lin Haoyang's magical weapons. Originally, he was only thinking of giving it a try, but when Lin Haoyang asked about it, he actually learned the news of the Flaming Stone Mother in Hu Weiwei's mouth, which made Lin Haoyang overjoyed. In Hu Weiwei's immortal cave, Hu Weiwei was telling everyone what she knew about the Flaming Mother. That was more than 30 years ago, when I went to Wangjizang to perform a mission. At that time my cultivation base was the Golden Core middle stage. Which mission is extremely dangerous. The leader of the team is the ancestor of Emperor sect's nascent soul, and we Golden Core will fight it most. During that mission, I harvested a piece of Flintstone Mother, the size of a baby's head, because it was only a 4th-order low-grade spiritual object, and its use was extremely limited. So at that time, Nascent Soul Elder, who led the team, took that piece of fire mica as a reward and gave it to Zhu Fuqing, who moved the mountain sect. Quote. Lin Haoyang was surprised to hear about the Flintstone Mother and the size of the baby's head. It was only 30 years ago. I don't know if Zhu Fuqing used or sold the Flintstone Mother. Moreover, according to Hu Weiwei's words, that Zhu Fuqing is probably already in the Golden Core late-stage practice, so there is little chance of leaving the Flaming Mother. Lin Haoyang asked Hu Weiwei some more about Zhu Fuqing, and then he thanked him and said goodbye. After leaving Hu Weiwei's immortal cave, Lin Haoyang and the three returned to Zufeng Mountain. Although they learned about the Flintstone Mother, it was already 30 years ago. Whether this Flintstone Mother is still there, it's just a matter of big problem. Haoyang, it's been more than 30 years, I'm afraid that Flaming Stone Mother should have been used by Zhu Fuqing. How about we think of another way? Lin Xuanlin said. Lin Haoyang shook his head and said, the wasteland reclamation season is about to begin, and I can't find anything else to replace the fire mica. The Lin family has no Tier 4 spirit talisman, and the foundation building cultivator of the Lin family has no means of life saving. If you go to the wilderness, the casualties will be too great. If it is true as Hu Weiwei said, the mother of fire marble is really the size of a baby's head, and the number of letter soul-chasing minds that can be practiced is about 10. With these 10 mother-child soul-chasing thunders, the cultivator of my Lin Bai family will reduce a lot of casualties, so I must go to this mountain sect to move. Quote. Lin Haoyang is very determined, and indeed, as Lin Haoyang said, if he did not sign up and said that he was short in hand, the foundation-building cultivator can only be regarded as cannon fodder in the wild. Only when the cultivation base reaches the golden core can it be survived. The human race can continue to occupy the wilderness, which is piled up by human lives. Seeing that Lin Haoyang was so determined, Lin Xuanlin didn't persuade him anymore, but her eyes were full of worry. Moving the mountain sect to Qingyan sect was more than 100,000 miles away and had to cross the Dong sect to reach it. Such a long distance naturally made people worry. But this time, Lin Haoyang didn't intend to bring Bai Qingyan with him. The journey to move to the mountain sect this time was a long distance, and it was very likely to be in danger. If only Lin Haoyang is alone, with Lin Haoyang's current methods, even the golden core early stage cultivator can't help him. If you bring Bai Qingyan with him, Lin Haoyang will be intimidated. After spending 3 days in Zufeng Mountain, Lin Haoyang said goodbye and left Zufeng Mountain and went straight to the relocation of the mountain sect. In the past 3 days, Lin Haoyang approached Zhou Zunyuan to buy a map of the moving mountain sect. Due to the long distance, the map was not very detailed, and only some of the main strongholds of the moving mountain sect could be seen. Fortunately, Zhu Fuqing was not a disciple of the moving mountain school. Like the Lin family, the Zhu family was also an affiliated family of the moving mountain school. The golden core ancestor of the Zhu family was Zhu Fuqing. The location of Zhu's house is just above this map. With the position, Lin Haoyang immediately set off for Zhu's house, but this time the journey was far away and had to pass the boundary between Dong sect and Wangji sect. Lin Haoyang didn't use a flying boat to hurry. With the preciousness of the flying boat, I can't guarantee that the two cultivators will make a bad idea when they meet. If they come to kill and win treasures, Lin Haoyang will be too wronged. Therefore, Lin Haoyang would rather choose to fly with the sword and spend more time. At Lin Haoyang's current speed, it would probably take about 4 months to get to the territory of the moving mountain sect. Just when Lin Haoyang left the Blue Cloud sect, a small group of demons suddenly mixed into the territory of the moving mountain sect, and their current destination was Lin Haoyang's destination moving mountain sect Zhu's family. Destination moving mountain sect Zhu's family. Destination moving mountain